Peace, 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 everybody. I'm sorry I started so late. You know, it's Father's Day weekend and Juneteenth weekend and stuff. I got my kids with me too, so I'm just gonna try to do this show really quickly, because it's late. And I just wanted to get this out because I felt like I needed to do this. Shout out to everybody in the building. I'm not gonna be long, but we're gonna be strong. Shout out to Benevolent in the building. Shout out to Mulatto in the building. Shout out to Uranium in the building. Yeah, I feel you on this, Uranium. I feel you. But yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. Shout out to V David in the building. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Also, family, make sure y'all supporting the stream any way y'all can. PayPal, Cash App. I got Venmo now. Super thanks, super chat, all that. Gifts, coins. I take it all. Whole lot of ones with a whole lot of nuns. And if you ain't got no money to support with a fire emoji. But let's get right into this. Let's not even waste no time. Because I saw this and I was like, okay, I am officially disgusted. I've been disgusted, but I'm extra disgusted now. And I wanted to show this. Before we get into the Jasmine Crockett thing with Vaush, let's get into this clip that he put up about Bernie Sanders. I've been meaning to cover this. As y'all know, matter of fact, I'm not even going to say nothing. We're just going to play this. Let's get right into it. Shout out to everybody in the building.
There wasn't even a primary for Ossoff. Do you think that was a good move? I don't think any Democrat could do a better job at winning Ossoff's seat than Ossoff. So hopefully he does well. He's been feeling confident lately. At least that's what I see in his, appearances. Well, I'm out of tabs. How are we doing? You're too pessimistic on this. Dem soaks are massively outperforming in Dem primaries. Look at Rab and Al-Saif. Sure. But it doesn't change the fact that to the average Democrat, socialism doesn't really mean that much, I'll read that in a bit. Happy to hear you're doing better. Ossoff's all right, yeah. Oh, speaking of the Senate, did you guys see that fucking awful thing from Bernie Sanders? God almighty. That softball question? Let me find it. People were real upsetty spaghetti over this one. And by people, I mean, me. Me too.
And polls among Palestinians in the occupied West Bank and Gaza are showing that they're increasingly in favor of a one-state solution with equal rights for Israelis and Palestinians alike and equal citizenship. Is that something you believe could happen, or is that something you support?
No, I don't. I mean, I think if that happens, then that would be the end of the state of Israel. And I support Israel's right to resist.
Oh, let's bring that back a little bit for all you who didn't hear that. Let's bring that back.
Upsetty spaghetti over this one. And by people, I mean me. Me too.
And polls among Palestinians in the occupied West Bank and Gaza are showing that they're increasingly in favor of a one-state solution with equal rights for Israelis and Palestinians alike and equal citizenship. Is that something you believe could happen, or is that something you support?
No, I don't. I mean, I think if that happens, then that would be the end of the state of Israel. And I support Israel's right to resist.
Woo. Hey, love you.
As you heard, family, you heard what he just said here. Bernie Sanders just said out his own mouth that he's against ending apartheid in Israel because it will be the end of Israel. And all these people are just upsetty spaghetti. No big whoop. Like, yeah, Bernie Sanders did a bad, but, he's still our guy. Mind you, if a black person had said something like this, it would be the end of the world. They would call them every type of Zod, slave, and Zionist. And yeah, also, when they start calling black people Zionists, a lot of these leftists, that's their version of thug. You know how the Republicans call black people thugs? For no reason, just referring to black people as thugs. That's their euphemism for the N-word. It's the same thing with black people with the Zionist nonsense. Because I don't know what's more Zionist than this. But nobody seems to have a real problem with Bernie Sanders. He literally just said, I'm against ending apartheid in Israel because it will be the end of the Jewish state. Why would it be the end of the Jewish state? Because there's just as many Palestinians as there are Jewish people, right? And the Palestinian birth rate is higher than the Jewish birth rate. And a lot of Jews would just leave Israel or wouldn't even come to Israel anymore if they had to have equal rights with Palestinians. But the Palestinians wouldn't leave. They would just stay there. And the right to return will most likely be voted in. So you'll have even more Palestinians returning from Jordan, overseas, Lebanon, all these places. Egypt, returning. And then they would have the numbers. And because it's a democracy, they would win. Imagine if somebody said, I don't want to end apartheid in South Africa because it would be the end of the white state. The white majority controlled state. That's exactly what Bernie Sanders just said here. And they're treating this like, well, that was a bad, and he shouldn't have said that. Come on, man, Bernie. Like, you can do better than that, but no real big deal. You're still our guy. You're still our guy. Exactly. And not only that, This is this is Palestine. Mind you, this is the issue that they use to attack Democrats mercilessly. This is the issue that they use to attack black people mercilessly. If you're a black person and say, hey, I think we should vote for Kamala Harris because A, Kamala Harris will be better for Palestinians than Donald Trump. And two, Kamala Harris didn't do the quote unquote genocide. They would attack you. You all kind of Zionists, you a shill, you're all these names. But what you're promoting will have the best outcome for the Palestinians. But you're bad. What Bernie Sanders is just promoting right here will be the worst outcome for the Palestinians. That they stay in apartheid in an apartheid situation. But nobody's attacking him. Nobody said they hate him. Nobody said they done with him. Again, imagine you not even imagine. Y'all know all the hate they gave Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett, who never would have said nothing like this. Jasmine Crockett, who is not no Zionist, who took money from somebody who's connected to somebody who's connected to AIPAC, which everybody takes money from. But she this big Zionist that cannot be supported. While Tariq took money from an actual Zionist, not just any Zionist, Donald Trump's #1 backer, and when he runs for president. I think it's Sheldon Adelson's wife, the one who gave Donald Trump money the first time he ran with the understanding that he would give all of Jerusalem to Israel. Because remember, there was 3 Palestinian areas: East Jerusalem, Gaza, and the West Bank. East Jerusalem is effectively gone. It's just Israel now. Because when Trump got in there, he held true to his word and moved the U.S. embassy and stuff to Jerusalem, and they just took the whole Jerusalem. Now, this time around, she gave Trump money to let Israel just take the whole West Bank, like to just drop the pretext of the West Bank being some type of autonomous region or something like that, and just annex it completely. And Tariq took money from that woman, but it was no big deal. Jasmine Crockett never took money from nobody like that. She never took money from no Republican. She never took money from a Zionist. But again, it was the end of the world, and we cannot support Jasmine Crockett. She's the enemy. She's super bad. This is who the white left is. That's why when you hear all these bozos talking about, we gotta support. Matter of fact, I'm gonna save that for another time. When you hear all these bozos now coming out talking this, why I left the white left and all this other stuff. Matter of fact, I'm gonna save that for another time too. Let's just continue on with this. No, they're not no Democrats. These lefties, these weirdo lefties, they're just using the Democratic Party. That's another thing. The Democrats have allowed these lefties to hang on and be around too long, while they're running some type of Lenin gambit to knock them out the equation. Like, think about this. Every Republican administration we got in the 21st century is because of the lefties. Every one of them. Every one of them, because the lefties sabotaging the Democrats, sabotaging the liberals. This is why we do the BYB. This is why when people was challenging me, talking about, a lot of our great blacks were lefties. And and they all ended up leaving that shit because of all the behavior of the white lefties. Let's keep it going.
Huh? Coffee? I'd love coffee. Here you go. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Is this a new interview? It's hard to tell because he's looked 100 years old for like 20 years now. They really pitched him as...
Why is it a problem if it's a new interview or not a new interview? Like, because again, that whole thing that you were crying about with Jasmine Crockett, that wasn't new. That wasn't new. But you still cried about it. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Softball. Here, I'll try to find it. Apparently it's old. It looks, the video quality. Here, I'll see. Al Jazeera, Bernie Sanders. The time The time that he did this does make a bit of a difference, but not, not a huge one.
It makes no difference. It makes no difference. It makes no difference, especially that because he did it, whether he did it a year ago or a couple of months ago, he did this after October 7th, by the way. That's all that matters. I would even say that it doesn't even matter if he did it before October 7th. But yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
It's 10 years old. Okay, that definitely makes a difference. Still bad. You have to be joking, man. Dude, he's always looking old.
Is that something you support?
Okay, maybe his opinions have changed. Has anyone asked him if he believes in a one-state solution now? I mean, honestly, the one-state versus two-state solution dynamic doesn't really mean anything anymore because it's genuinely like trying to argue with Nazi Germany as it still exists as Nazi Germany about like what degree of political freedoms Jews will be allowed within their state, which is to say like obviously none, and even trying to talk about it seems meaningless, right? Like right now a one-state solution can't happen because Israel is Nazi. Shit, it's all Nazis. And you can't have a two-state solution because if you had that, they would just bomb it forever, right? So it's like there's no...
So if Israel is all Nazi, are you going to call Bernie Sanders a Nazi supporter? Call everybody else a Nazi? Are you going to call Bernie Sanders a Zionist? Call everybody else a Zionist? Nonsense. Beyond nonsense.
This is the interview? You found it? 9 years ago.
What I am trying to do now is to transform the Democratic Party.
So then what's wrong with the answer? Well, I mean, he pretty explicitly says here that he thinks that Israel should continue to exist as a Jewish ethno-state, which is pretty bad.
Look at that. His own lefty audience like, well, what's the problem with that answer? Mind you, this is the same audience that if a black person has said, hey, we need separation, they would accuse you of trying to create a black Nazi state. Like, come on now. Ridiculous. He shouldn't even had to even explain that. And again, he's not making a big deal about it.
A one-state solution would be the end of Israel, and I support Israel. I mean, like a one-state solution in this case would mean the political incorporation and representation of a bunch of non-Jewish Palestinians, and he says that would end the state of Israel. I don't think that the enfranchisement of black people ended the state of America, in my opinion.
Shout out to Lee D. Clinton for setting it off with that $10. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. You already know red, black, and green. BYB, you already know with that too. Black, yellow, blue.
Billionaire friends are capable of doing to this country. So what I am trying to do now.
You're putting a lot of words in his mouth. Am I?
And polls among Palestinians in the occupied West Bank and Gaza are showing that they're...
Look at his audience. His audience is even worse than him. That's why I always say that Vaush, I have to call him Vlad. Vaush is like the best version of the left you ever the online left you ever going to see. Because look, his own audience is arguing with him, talking about you putting words in Bernie Sanders' mouth. He's not putting any words in Bernie Sanders' mouth. That's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. What's the difference between what Bernie Sanders said and somebody else saying, I'm against, again, the ending of apartheid? I don't, because remember, when they was doing apartheid, what they try to do, they try to come up with these Bantu stands where black people could have these Bantu stands, but white people would still control South Africa. And if somebody asked them, hey, are you in favor of one South Africa? And they said no, because it would be the end of white majority rule. We would all understand what he's saying. It's plain English. It's the same thing with Bernie Sanders. No, because it'll be the end of the Jewish state. It's not that hard. But again, people pretend it is.
Increasingly in favor of a one-state solution with equal rights for Israelis and Palestinians alike and equal citizenship. Is that something you believe could happen, or is that something you support?
No, I don't. I mean, I think if that happens, then that would be the end of the state of Israel. And I support Israel's right to exist.
That sounds pretty straightforward to me.
Is to transform the Democratic Party. Transform. And we're having some success.
Israel.
To the table.
It's increasingly evident that hopes for a two-state solution are almost dead. At the same time, polls among Palestinians in the occupied West Bank and Gaza are showing that they're increasingly in favor of a one-state solution with equal rights for Israelis and Palestinians alike and equal citizenship. Is that something you believe could happen, or is that something you support?
No, I don't. I mean, I think if that happens, then that would be the end of the state of Israel. And I support Israel's right to exist.
Do you think a two-state solution is still viable?
Yes, I think if there is the political will to make it happen and if there is good faith on both sides.
Did we not care this 9 years ago? Nuts. I don't know what you want me to say. I already said that factors in somewhat. I don't know what you want me to say.
See, look, his own audience is attacking him because it's like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? This was 9 years ago. What's the big deal? So the plight of the Palestinians didn't matter 9 years ago. It only just mattered now because of what Israel did after October 7th. Now it matters. This is what I was also talking about with the lefties. Don't really care about the Palestinians. They're just using them and their plight as a political football, as a way to attack their enemies. That's it. That's it.
I do think it's possible, and I think there has not been good faith, certainly on this Israeli government, and I have my doubts about parts of the Palestinian leadership as well.
Here in the U.S.
10 years ago, this was still radical. Well, no, he's pretty explicitly saying he defends the existence of Israel as a Jewish ethno-state.
Refugees are a politically divisive issue. We've seen them.
It's really an age thing when it comes to him, IMO. Well, he's always been, I think, for a person of his political disposition, quite weak on the subject, you know. Obviously, he's no Randy Fine, but River, she ran in here. It's okay. You can leave her in here. She sneaked in. Show us. River. Escape. One of her ears clipped. Yeah, I got her from a shelter. Well, I didn't. My partner did, but you know. Vaush, Congress moves to quietly integrate U.S. and Israeli militaries. People keep saying this, but I find the claim less than credible. That doesn't sound real to me. Like, I don't just like.
I think he's off that issue, but I'm out to, because I didn't watch this video beforehand. I only watched that little clip with Bernie Sanders, and I'm like, oh, I got to cover this. But I think Vaush is off this. So yeah, we can move along. And in fact, let me just speed it up a little bit.
Man. They're down pretty low right now. That shit's going to rubber band so hard. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what's going on over here. 8 days.
Yep. So he's off that. So let's see how he covered Jasmine Crockett. Mind you, I did not watch this video with him covering Jasmine Crockett, but I just saw the title and I knew that it's like, I bet you he calls her some type of Zionist or something like that. I bet you. I can see it. Tries to accuse her of being some type of racist. I can see it. I see it. Let's get into this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you liking the video, you sharing the video, you commenting, you doing everything you can to support the stream. You hitting that reaction reaction heart. You're doing everything. Do everything you can. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. But let's get into this.
Now that Juneteenth is passed, we can finally go back to this channel's treasured pastime of trashing black women. Did you guys see the shit Jasmine Crockett said? Oh my fucking God. What a stupid bitch. She is
already out the gate. Like I said, I didn't watch this video. I just saw the title, and it reminded me of that Bernie Sanders clip that I meant to cover when I saw that first little clip. But I cut it off and I thought I got to cover this later. But now we're going to watch this together. I have not watched this video already going in. Not even 20 seconds into the video going in.
Is refusing to attend the Texas Democrat convention because she's salty that she lost to Tariq, even though Tariq has still not said a single goddamn negative thing about her. Crockett has also said she's not sure whether Democrats, particularly black voters, have united fully behind Tariq. Maybe if you fucking supported him, they would.
Why should she support Tariq? Especially when Tariq allowed, he didn't tell y'all to stop. Y'all ran a very dirty campaign against her. Very dirty campaign. Very anti-black campaign. Why should she? But yeah, let's keep it going because again, I ain't watched this, so let them build.
And the rest of the ticket, she said the lack of a black nominee for major statewide office could damper enthusiasm among some voters. I've not heard a bunch of kumbaya, she said. People don't seem to be convinced at this point, but there's a lot of time between now and November. Asked whether she would actively support Tallarico's campaign, Crockett said, I have no idea. I'm more focused on down ballot race in general. This is a fucking Democrat Texas Senate seat, you bitch! This shit should be like, you should be fucking exiled from the Democratic Party. They need to send your ass to the fucking Antarctica. Vote blue no matter who. Insane. Do you have any idea?
You hear a lefty talking about vote blue no matter who? This again, the lefties who refuse to vote blue no matter who. That's how we got every Republican administration we got. We got them because lefties refuse to vote blue no matter who. Matter of fact, we didn't get the second Bush because of the lefties. I'll say that. We didn't get the second Bush's second term because of the lefties. But he should have never even had a first term. So I'm still putting the whole Bush administration on the lefties because we definitely got his first term because of them. And if it wasn't because of them, we wouldn't even have to worry about a second term. We definitely got Trump twice because of them, refusing to vote blue no matter who. Like, we remember the Never Hillary crowd. We remember that. And again, she's saying that, like, hey, there's no black people in the on the ticket. That could damper some enthusiasm, which she is right about. Like, show some solidarity. Like she said, I don't see the kumbaya in.
How bad it would make Tallarico look if he refused to support Jasmine Crockett if he had lost. She never had a single fucking talking point other than I'm black and I deserve this seat because I'm black. And we're all surprised that she's acting this way. Well, I knew. Jesus Christ. She won't be exiled. She'll be promoted for her devotion to hierarchy. Yeah. She's going to be on Democrat talk shows. She's going to be, over and over again. She's basically dead career-wise at the moment. Masaigu, I know you're always Masaigu. You're always very quick to massage my brain. You're doing this to my head right now. You're saying the Democratic Party isn't as bad as you think it is. Wrong! It's actually worse. Right now, Democratic media should be destroying Jasmine Crockett's fucking life. If anyone did this from the left, if Bernie did this, if AOC did this, if any progressive candidate said, I don't really know about supporting, especially for something as big as a Texas Senate seat. This is not like a which Democrat wins afterwards, okay? This is a like neck and neck. Tallarico, a godly man, against Ken Paxton, a child raping demon from hell. Allegedly child raping. We don't know. We only know he supports child rape. We don't know if he's done it himself. We only know that he's morally in favor of it. And has used his power as attorney general in Texas to permit it and to defend child rapists. The demon from hell bit is not alleged. Yeah, it's really bad. Technically, she has endorsed him, but she just won't actively campaign for him. For her to do this, like, I don't know if black Texans support him while not herself supporting him is so fucking petty and so disgusting. She's actively trying to hold the black vote hostage in Texas because she doesn't feel coddled enough. She ran a shit campaign. She backstabbed Tallarico by signing up for the race like the last possible day you could do it. She was an entitled brat the entire way through. She lied about kicking a journalist out at the event. She lied about her campaign manager lied about their participation in the race. Like on every level, she fucked up and she lost. And now she's trying to hold the black vote hostage. And she's going to keep doing this. She's going to keep doing this. Well, I don't know about Tallarico not being anti-black or whatever. It's real bad.
I guess maybe you lefty shouldn't have been running the campaign you were running. I think that's the issue at hand. Because you could say Tallarico didn't directly do it, but people around him was doing it. His supporters were doing it, and he was very quiet on it. And again, to that point about, imagine if a lefty had done this. Well, the lefty supporters do it all the time. Again, back to the Never Hillary crowd. I don't remember any progressives. I don't remember Bernie telling y'all like, hey, cut that Never Hillary stuff out and make sure you go and pushing the line for Hillary Clinton hard. I don't remember him doing that. I don't. I don't remember the lefties also pushing the line hard for Kamala Harris. I don't. Or Joe Biden. Remember when Bernie Sanders lost to Joe Biden? How hard did Bernie get out here and campaign for Joe Biden? How hard did he get out here and campaign for Hillary? How hard did he get out here and campaign for Kamala Harris? Fire minds want to know.
More focused on down ballot races. Look at how fucking petty she is. She said she received what she described as an afterthought invite on June 8th from Tariq based on the preview message in her cell phone. I had a missed call that I've not returned, nor have I listened to the message from Tariq, Crockett told the news. It seemed like an afterthought invite. I can't say for sure because I haven't listened to it. You are a fucking adult, Crockett. You're an adult. You're an adult. You have to pay taxes. Why are you acting like a fucking child? Yeah, I haven't checked it because, like, I'm not about that. But, you know, are you fucking kidding me? Does she think this makes her look good? I don't get it. Her literal only argument for being senator was that she's black. This woman is an idiot and is emotionally immature. And I was calling it the whole fucking time. She's genuinely stupid. She's stupid, and the only fucking, literally, her entire reputation was built off of her being, like, trashy in Congress or whatever. Not just her being loudmouthed or oppositional, but her being, like, a petty catty bitch, which is fine if backed by good political principles.
See? Same way MAGA talks about Jasmine Crockett is the same way he's talking about Jasmine Crockett. And also the same way FBA talks about Jasmine Crockett. And we all know FBA is a white nationalist psyop. Not just a hate cult, but a white nationalist psyop.
But not all petty catty bitches are socialists, unfortunately. Just most of them. That was her entire fucking selling point. I would know. I haven't checked the message. According to Tallarico's campaign, he called Crockett and left a message suggesting she make the keynote speech at the convention. She looks so fucking bad here, man. She looks so fucking stupid. Jesus fucking Christ. This behavior would be embarrassing from like a YouTuber. Texas Democrat Party Chairman Kendall Schutter said the party contacted members of Crockett's staff and that she had been on an invitation to convention since March. She had been invited since March, and she had a personal phone message left by Tallarico inviting her to make the keynote speech. And she didn't read it because she was too busy fucking acting like a petulant little bitch. And the Dems won't condemn her for it, and she'll make her way back in the party like another tumor. Yep. If any progressive acted this way, they would get fucking demolished by all Dem media, and they would be a pariah forever. A progressive would have to grit their teeth no matter how little dignity they were treated with during the election process. But she gets to be a petulant bitch, and she'll only be rewarded for it. Man, I hate her. I was so fucking right to be a hardliner on her. I was so correct. It sucks being a lefty. It can sometimes be a little bit fun being correct literally all of the time. Sometimes, you know? Probably for the best she's not actually going. You know that if she was given the keynote speech, she would just bitch out Tallarico.
Oh, man. Benevolent, yes. But didn't I say that was going to happen? I said if Kamala Harris loses, that's it. It's over. You may as well pack it up. You're going to have a two-front war. You're gonna break the Democratic Party. You're gonna empower the lefties, who are our enemy, and you're gonna empower MAGA, who is also our enemy. And they're both gonna be attacking us. The lefties from the left, MAGA from the right, two-front war. It's gonna be more than two fronts, actually, because I talked about other groups too. But those are the two main groups politically that's gonna be attacking us, and we're gonna be in a position we can't really fight back. We can't. We can't, because again, we have depowered ourselves. We did this to ourselves. Like I'm mad about us being in this position more than I'm mad about people doing what they're doing to us. Like I'm not mad at Vaush or any lefty who talks like this, who acts like this. They have their own political project and they pushing the line. And all I could do is salute and respect that. Just like MAGA. I respect MAGA because they have their own political project and they pushing the line on it. I got no choice but to respect that. I'm mad that we wasn't pushing the line for ourselves and we put ourselves in this position. This could have been all avoided if black people just came out and did what they were supposed to do. All could have been avoided. All could have been avoided. V. David, I lost count. Probably 6, 7. I'm just saying 6, 7 because I see the number 67. But no, who knows how many times he called her a bitch? Who knows? Who knows? Like, insane. Again, we put ourselves in a position to have to deal with this. There would be no Tariq. There would be none of this if Kamala Harris had won. We wouldn't have to worry about all these lefty victories and them getting all this power and all this momentum, and they could go mask off. We wouldn't have to worry about this if Kamala Harris had won. We definitely wouldn't have to worry about this if Hillary Clinton had won. We put ourselves in this position. Nobody to blame but ourselves.
She would say some wishy-washy shit like, maybe if you'd chosen me, I would have unified the black vote, but you didn't, so maybe they're going to vote for Paxton now or something. Like, she would imply that. She'd imply that. For sure she would. These people would rather sign the country down the river to fascism than give up like any ego, any hit to their ego.
You did that. Everybody knew Trump was a fascist. Everybody knew MAGA was a fascist movement. We literally watched Trump try to overthrow the election. And if it wasn't for Mike Pence and others breaking the law and getting the National Guard out there, getting state police from surrounding areas to come to the Capitol, they probably would have succeeded. They probably would have succeeded. And when this man ran for president again in 2024, you lefties was out here telling people not to vote. Talking about, oh, we cannot vote the Democrats. We can't vote for any Democrat. And you was justifying other people saying, well, because of Gaza, not only can I not vote for Joe Biden, I don't know if I could vote for any Democrat. I don't know if we could vote for Kamala Harris because of Gaza. But hey, and people were like, hey, if Donald Trump wins, it's going to be fascism. Hey, Project 2025. Hey, if he wins, he's just going to persecute people. Hey, he's talking about doing some Nazi shit. Hey, like, we can't let him win. I didn't show up. Y'all was like, nah, fuck it. Let the fascists take over. Let everybody lose decades worth of rights that people fought for decades. I mean, excuse me, I said decades worth of rights. No, rights that took decades to get. Let's throw it all away. Doesn't matter. Women's rights, gay rights, black people's rights, immigrant rights. Just throw it all away. It doesn't matter. Because of Gaza. Yeah, just throw it all away. Because of Gaza. Yeah, that's why we throwing it all away. Now, because Jasmine Crockett doesn't want to come out and, matter of fact, is not coming out and supporting Tariq to the level you feel she should. Now we are the ones emboldening fascism. We are the ones handing the country over to fascism. Ridiculous.
Go. They're like Trump in that respect. They will allow infinite damage to the country if it means protecting their ego. They're just like Trump in this respect. Politics is such a magnet for these type of people. At least she wasted some AIPAC money. Did she get AIPAC money? I actually forget. Yeah, she did. In poll after poll, black voters consistently back Tariq. It's a nothing burger. Her behavior isn't a nothing burger. She needs to be made an example of. But I guarantee you that her like unambiguous support could make up like a significant difference. She like every black voter who decides to come out and not be apathetic and not vote on election day is very, very important. So this is just for her and not Israel. No, this is for her. This is for her. Narcissists and people.
They think everything is about Israel. Everything is about Israel. Oh, you a critic? Like everything is not about Israel. Everything is not about Israel. Because I could see why somebody would say, oh, is she doing this for Israel? Because y'all made it seem like Jasmine Crockett was the #1 agent of Israel in America. Like, but I could see why people are saying stuff like that. But no.
People with fragile egos are very easy to manipulate for causes because it means they have a guaranteed base of support if they do that thing. You know, Trump is not ideologically pro-Israel at all. He's just a narcissist. So the people who flatter him the most, it's like he wasn't pro-Russia. Trump isn't ideologically pro-Russia or whatever. He doesn't fucking care. He just got flattered by Putin, you know? They're just very susceptible to flattery. So fucking embarrassing. This is from 1 day ago. Is this contemporary? Is this like an old clip?
So Trump, you know, he constantly has my name in his mouth.
How about this new one?
This is just an edit. Okay, it's not in response to anything in particular. Are any of these old? Or sorry, are any of these not old?
The Heritage Foundation, who I absolutely hate. Yes, hate. And the Heritage.
What is with these edits, man? Okay, yeah, I guess she hasn't said anything. Nobody's interviewed her. Nothing on video. Do you still think Tariq has a good chance of winning? Yeah, I would say it's like maybe 60-40 in his favor. That's my guess. Like, I think Paxton is a uniquely weak candidate. I think that if anyone was going to do it, it would be Tariq. I think Jasmine Crockett would have gotten fucking like bent over a couch by Paxton. I think it would have been over.
Why to use rapist language? Like, why use rapist language when you're talking about a black woman? Like, come on now. Let's why we got to do that? Also, benevolent. There ain't no next time. Like, I'm just gonna keep it 1,000 with you. Even if we vote the way we supposed to, we can't undo all this damage. I still support people voting the way they supposed to, because that's gonna be the first step to mitigating some of this damage, like at least stopping the bleeding, and then we can move forward from there. But as far as just voting like we supposed to next time, and then everything go back to the way it was, nah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. But voting is still important. Shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, it's 7 a.m. where you at? Well, it's 1 a.m. where I'm at. Shout out to everybody in the building.
I think that he would have fucking demolished her, because she would have, like, statement after statement to the media, debate after debate, she would just keep race baiting nonstop. She would actually legitimize Paxton's worldview, because Paxton is a white supremacist. So all he would have to do was counter with, like, you know, unlike you, I stand for all Texans, including white. If they would debate, and he would accuse her of being anti-white, and she would be like, "What's wrong with that?" And then he would win like 70% of the vote. Hispanic.
Brandon, you said he's not wrong. What do you mean he's not wrong? What you mean by that? Shout out to everybody in the building. But yeah, what you mean that he's not wrong?
Would vote red by Assad margins. He would ask her, like, what did you mean when you said black people have done their time on the plantations, now it's Hispanics' turn? What did you mean by that exactly? I still find it insane she said that. Did she actually say that? Yeah. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that was essentially what she... Roll the clip. Crockett, black people, plantations.
You know the clip he's about to play? All the FBA bozos attacked her for saying this because they said that she was bigging up Latinos. That's how stupid FBA is, by the way. FBA is the stupidest group of niggas who ever woke the face of the earth. They got the crown. They got the crown, man. They got the crown. Ain't nobody stupider than them niggas.
I know y'all, you know, they got folks that's saying they gonna kick everybody out.
Is this it? No, this isn't it. She was speaking to a crowd when she did that. This isn't it.
And they gonna get rid of black people first after they done used us.
Yeah, it was at a rally, town hall or something. Where is it? If someone could find it for me.
Oh, I guess he didn't find the clip, but the clip he's talking about, I know exactly what he was talking about. Everybody also make sure y'all smashing that like button. Make sure y'all do that. And support with a fire emoji if you can't support anywhere else. Thank you.
Because damn, is it bad. Okay, what if hold on. Crockett, racist, Hispanic. That might do it. Oh, you got it? Okay, hold here.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
In argument for why we need immigrants, because they're done picking cotton. Never not funny. Yeah, and no one clapped at a fucking Black Baptist church doing a rally. No one clapped. That's insane. Do you know how many 80-year-old women there were in this crowd that would happily clap for a wide range of broadly pro-black but problematic statements? No one clapped. Gee.
Yeah, you're right, Jamal. You're right. Yeah, Trump don't believe in anything. Yeah, because Trump is a loser. That's why. He started a war he couldn't win, and a war he wasn't ready to fight all the way to win. Like, how did you think you was gonna win that war? And mind you, he messed himself up because he killed all the leadership, the people who would have bent over backwards to surrender. And he left a bunch of hardliners alive, a bunch of young hardliners alive. So that he messed himself up. Because if he wouldn't have killed the Ayatollah, he would have been surrendered, like he been doing. Every time Israel or America attacks Iran or kill their people or kill their proxies, they always act like they about to turn up, and they never turn up. But because they killed the people who were old and conservative, they left the young radicals in charge who don't care about nothing. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the building. Thank you for the fire emojis. Thank you for the fire emojis. Oh, shout out to RBG for the win in the building. Shout out to Starbright in the building. Yeah, they didn't clap. They didn't clap. Master of Whackness. Yeah, they're gonna have to be studies on the FBA. How? They got to go down in history. Stupidest group of all time. But let's let Vaush finish up.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it is true. Paxton's not doing so hot out the gate, Messiah. Happy Juneteenth. We had to wait till Juneteenth was done to do this segment. Shithole state. I don't know what this has to do with Tariq, but yeah. Oklahoma voting 15 points against raising the minimum wage when Oklahoma's minimum wage is the federal minimum wage of like $7.25 an hour or whatever. It's pretty funny. Yeah. Shithole state. The worst state in the union. Easily.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, but I think my point on that issue is clear. Like, about how I feel about the white lefties. And again, I don't like the way they talk about and attack Jasmine Crockett. But again, I can't be mad at them. They have a political project, they have beliefs, and they pushing the line. I could do nothing but salute and respect that. But yeah, let's move on to something lighter. Let's move on to something lighter. Is my audio still good? Let's make sure of that. Yes, it is. For all you who don't know, Tariq Nasheed is crying about Juneteenth. This bozo is crying about Juneteenth like he always does. Let's see what he got to say. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing the stream and supporting any way y'all can. Tariq is mad. He was mad about that African celebration at Juneteenth. I don't know why he's mad for. And now he's showing people raising the Juneteenth flag. The so-called Juneteenth flag, by the way. I got to do a whole segment on this. It's a reason why if you go to Texas or you go to people who've been celebrating Juneteenth before it was officially a federal holiday, they don't use that flag. Like if you see somebody using the Juneteenth flag and they not directly connected to it, you know they oppose her. You like that's the funny part about these FBA bozos. They try to pretend like they so deep in the culture of Black Americanness and they rep it to the core. But anybody who actually has any understanding of it knows that you guys are a bunch of posers. You're using the Juneteenth flag. The so-called Juneteenth flag. I'm not jacking this flag. I don't see nobody waving this flag in Galveston, so they not jacking it neither. So yeah. We not jacking this flag. So he couldn't find somebody raising the Juneteenth flag without also raising the pride flag. Tariq is telling y'all something. He telling y'all something. He couldn't find a raising of the Juneteenth flag without also a raising of the pride flag. Tariq couldn't go out there and pay somebody to raise a Juneteenth flag on its own. Mind you, Tariq is a millionaire, by the way. It would have been nothing to pay some to buy a Juneteenth flag and raise it himself. Or to again find somebody raising the Juneteenth flag without raising the pride flag. You can't make this up, man. Exactly. FBA is LGBTQ+. That's exactly what they are. But they accuse everybody else of being LGBTQ+. You don't agree with Tariq? That's because you a punk and you like bussy. But here we go. Juneteenth flag with the pride flag. And mind you, if you don't agree with something Tariq says, oh, you just trying to, you a Democratic shield trying to mix pride with Juneteenth. Pride-teenth. That's something he'll say. Well, let's keep going.
This is why they have to try to dilute it.
Why he got the Transformer flag and the rainbow flag in the background? Again, he's accusing other people of trying to dilute Juneteenth and hijack it. But you sitting up here showing that. Maybe he was showing that to try to symbolize, hey, people are hijacking Juneteenth by mixing it with pride. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that's not what he meant. That's what he'll say to y'all to try to clean it up. But we already know what type of time Tariq is really on. Just like with when him putting that gay porn on his timeline, talking about, oh, look what these punks is doing. That's why we got to make the buck breaking documentary.
Anything we do, they have to dilute it. Even with Juneteenth. Did y'all see I saw they were raising the Juneteenth flag. I want to say this was in Chicago somewhere. They were raising the Juneteenth flag on some government building, and they gonna raise right under it the damn LGBT pride flag.
Look, I knew it. He's gonna try to justify waving the pride flag around by saying, well, I'm just doing that to expose pride. Nah, Tariq, you about pride.
Notice when it comes to Juneteenth, notice how everybody keeps trying to crowbar their shit with Juneteenth. Do y'all notice they just can't let Juneteenth just be Juneteenth? It just can't be about us. It can't be about us. It just can't be about foundational Black American culture. It's always they're going to mix in some Joloff.
There's no such thing as foundational Black American culture. Foundational Black American is a hate cult. Like, so Juneteenth can't be a part of your culture. You're a group. You don't have an ethnic culture. You don't have a racial culture. You're just a group. A hate group at that.
Having a Negusi Juneteenth contest. They're having some Afro beats Juneteenth. It's a pride transgender Juneteenth. It's always got to be diluted with something else. They just can't let it be its own thing. There always has to be a mixing of our shit with other people's stuff. You understand? Now, why is this? Why is this? Why do they have to mix our shit with everything? The thing is, when you erase a specific lineage, you try to erase the legal claims. See, Juneteenth is a very specific historic commemoration.
Here we go with FBA babble. If you try to erase a lineage, you try to erase legal claims. What does that even mean? A lineage is a bloodline. What that got to do with a holiday? for people. And how can that erase a legal claim? By having other people celebrate a federal holiday. Is people out running around celebrating, what is that? What day is that? St. Patrick's Day? Are they like erasing a lineage? People running around celebrating Cinco de Mayo? Are they erasing a lineage and legal claims that are attached to that lineage? Come on now. People celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday. Is that doing that too? Come on.
Liberation. It's about the emancipation of foundational Black Americans who were enslaved, specifically those down in Galveston, Texas. They were held in bondage after the Emancipation Proclamation. So they try to mix that foundation with Pan-Africanism, Caribbean stuff, and broader African history, and then LGBT shit. See, the Pan-African stuff is a gateway. If we let them Pan-Africanize it, then that's a gateway. They're gonna funnel everything else in it. I saw some shit where they're talking about some Afro-Latino Juneteenth. What the hell?
That's a lie. Talking about we let Pan-Africanism in, it's gonna allow other stuff to be in. I got news for you. Pan-Africanism always been in. Because as you know, Pan-Africanism is simply about race consciousness. That's it. Black people in America, we have a racial consciousness. That's why we are Pan-Africanists, all of us. Even if you claim it, you don't claim it. Because again, it's not about an idea. It's not about joining a group. It's not about a particular movement. It's just about race consciousness. They're
just throwing everything in. They want to intentionally muddy the water so they can make Juneteenth about everybody who has a little, quote, African descent globally. So you can dilute the specific, unique legal claim that foundational Black Americans have for justice. We start talking about, okay,
how can you dilute a legal claim by people celebrating a federal holiday? Oh, look, we got recognized lame in the building. You ain't get enough when we like embarrassed you and you didn't even know Catholic school was private school that you had to pay to go to. Like, you just don't get enough. Like, you back to make a fool out of yourself again? Exactly, Starbright. Exactly. He don't even know what Juneteenth is, if you want to be real. Like, none of them do. Yeah, let's keep it going.
Let's get some Juneteenth checks going on. You understand? Notice the corporate and the political playbook. See, whenever a specific Black American milestone gains national visibility, they immediately try to attach it to the LGBT.
Exactly. Like, there are gay Black people who want to celebrate Juneteenth, and they want to celebrate Pride, and they should be free to do so. And it's like, stop acting like FBA is not an LGBTQ organization. Like, come on now, cut it out. Always with this nonsense. It's just nonsense. Let them keep talking.
BT flag, immigration narratives, all these other marginalized groups.
Also, you heard them talking about when they're going to get some Juneteenth checks. Why you ain't talking about Donald Trump working with Ed Blum officially to try to stop Evanston, Illinois from cutting reparation checks to Black people? Why you ain't speak on that yet? Y'all didn't speak about Evanston when they was first giving out the checks. I never talked about them. Only one of y'all ever talked about it, and that was the Black Authority, and he talked about it to attack Evanston. He did that to attack Evanston, and I think Farrell said that did that too. Another bozo. But yeah, y'all ain't been talking about it. Y'all definitely ain't been talking about this, what's happening now. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Just like the white guy who called earlier. We're talking about reparations. He's like, well, what about veterans? They should get it too. Like, what? See, that's a deliberate tactic to basically dissolve the political and economic power of Black Americans. They know if we get what we're supposed to get, we're going to act a fool with it. We're going to be a powerhouse. They know what we're capable of. They understand if we are not completely subjugated, man, we start running shit. You understand? So they want to turn a very specific memorial of the end of American slavery into a generic celebration of freedom and diversity for everybody. They want to try to absorb our history into this catch-all umbrella so they can really neutralize our distinct voice. They're not doing it so that it's a kumbaya, it's to muffle and shut us the hell up. That's why we called out Obama doing that whole, he's going to do this Juneteenth display of that painting that was done by a Nigerian woman. Well, that ain't.
How is any of the stuff that you're talking about diluting or hurting the black community? Like, you still have failed to point that out. How? You just keep saying stuff, but you have failed to point that out. How is this hurting the black community?
Got shit to do with no damn Juneteenth. You understand? See, the dominant society, they know that foundational Black Americans, we possess a unique political leverage due to our history and our presence in this country. So to counter this, they use global narratives. They always try to tie Juneteenth into the Caribbean, continental Africa, and all that stuff so they can focus away from the domestic political and economic interest of Black Americans. See, they want to crowd us out of our own legacy by bringing in these external agendas into spaces that really belong to our ancestors' lineage. Yeah. See, if Juneteenth remains strictly focused on slavery here and the aftermath, that forces a direct, uncomfortable mirror onto the dominant society regarding institutional wealth and systemic oppression. But if they can pivot the conversation into global African history or Pan-Africanism, they can shift the focus away from the United States government's specific debt to our lineage. You see?
I don't know how adults sit around listening to this bozo all day. All he does is babble. That's all he does. How does adults listen to this dude? He makes no sense. Exactly. Like I said, he makes no sense. Nothing he's saying is making any sense. Exactly. That's exactly what he got going on.
See? They love a generalized global celebration. It lets them off the hook. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have to try to Africanize everything. They don't owe Africa nothing. That's why we don't never let them come in and try to speak for us, like with that bullshit reparations thing that Ghana tried to pull. Nobody owes Ghana anything. Ghana's not owed a damn thing because they've already made deals. And they know that. They know we're not going to get nothing with no damn Ghana. They've already made deals and capitalized off of it, those kingdoms and those tribes over there. So they know that these people are going to try to mix in and dilute what's designed for us. And see, when the dominant society can't suppress a Black American movement or a holiday, their next move is to buy it out and liquidize its meaning. You attach every trendy social agenda and corporate marketing campaign to Juneteenth, and you turn a revolutionary historic marker into a commercialized carnival. Do you know how disrespectful it is to put all of these trans flags and stuff with Juneteenth? They would never pull that shit with any other folks. You wouldn't mix LGBT stuff up with the Holocaust. They wouldn't let you disrespect them like that.
Wrong, Tariq. People do bring up if they got gay people in their group, gay people be out there at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. You got gay people holding up gay flags and you just mentioned the Holocaust. You do know, like, gay people was a part of the Holocaust, right? You do know the pink triangle, right? So when people talk about the Holocaust, you do have gay people coming out with the pink triangles. See how the Jews had to wear the yellow star? The gays had, the LGBTQ had the pink triangles.
You understand? That ain't even remotely the same. And we don't need to let them do that shit. Come on now. Chevalier, let's get some people in here. Chevalier, whatever your name is, hop on in, sir.
One. So obviously everyone is aware with the war with Iran.
Oh my God, I don't know what they talking about. I'm gonna let this go on for like 2 more minutes. I'm about to put this in double speed because again, if they're not talking about Juneteenth no more, we getting off this. I'm gonna put it in a speed and a half.
On that just ended, and how the United States. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Before we go there, what state are you in, and what's your ethnic background?
I am French American, and I'm in California.
Okay. When did people come over from France?
My father came in the 70s.
In the 1970s. Got it. Do you speak any French?
A little bit, not much. I don't really use it much.
There you go. Now, why they leave? Most French don't come over here like that. What made them leave France to come over here?
My dad started a business here.
You know what's so crazy? Tariq is only starting to ask other people this question because people pointed out that he only asks black people this question. Or he only asks this question when people don't agree with him. So now to get ahead of those claims, he asks everybody that question up front to try to. So when people point that out that about this, oh, your lineage question and stuff like that, he can say, well, I ask everybody. See, he asks everybody. Bozo talk. And look how cordial he's being and respectful he's being to this white man. You would think if that white man would have been like, oh, I'm Nigerian or I'm Haitian, you think he would be this cordial and respectful?
And his business partner wanted to move everything out of the country during the kind of post-de Gaulle era. So they came to the United States because it was just a friendlier environment.
There it is. Okay. So now you're saying about Iran. Now what about it?
So obviously the big thing everyone's talking about is the $300 billion that's paid, and it's being worded.
Oh, let's see what Tariq got to say, because again, he didn't cover that. He didn't cover the $300 billion. We covered that. Tariq didn't. Let's see what he got to say about that $300 billion going to Iran. I'm happy I kept going. Let's see.
It as reparations. And go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
And I kind of thought about the whole FBA thing, about how, for foundational Black Americans, reparations is something that you advocate for.
Right.
And looking at it from that angle, it seems like the United States government is more willing to pay reparations for a country that fought back against it and fought back pretty successfully.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that place FBA and the FBA movement when it comes to seeking reparations? I'm not saying to get like militaristic or anything, but it does seem like that's how they take things more seriously. And what are your thoughts on that?
We're doing things like politically crashing out certain political parties and forcing them to discuss reparations, which is what we're doing with the Democrats.
You heard what he just said, right? We're doing things. I thought y'all wasn't even a group. I thought y'all was just a lineage. And now you're doing stuff by attack. That's your answer to the question about Iran getting reparations. First of all, I'm pretty sure you didn't even know this because, again, Tariq is not informed. He's stupid. He doesn't pay attention to the news. If he don't see it, like if one of his FBA bozos don't send it to him, he don't know what happened. And then if he did, he would try to ignore it because, again, that would point to the question like, hey, Trump is talking about giving Iran $300 billion plus in reparations. Shouldn't we put some pressure on Trump since he's in a position of power and he's running around giving out all these reparations? Oh, Trump is, at the same time he's doing this, he's joining a lawsuit to stop Black people from getting reparations in Evanston. Baby, we should go hard on the Republicans. Tariq can't have that. So his answer to all this was to first not cover it. And now that he's forced to cover it, talk about attacking the Democrats. That's his solution, attacking the Democrats.
Well, listen, remember years ago, people say reparations, they get shouted down and smacked down and people would just punk out and not talk about it. We have forced the reparations conversation into the national lexicon where they are putting together reparations task force agencies all around the country. So that's a good milestone.
They've been doing that. Like the Evanston thing. Y'all didn't have nothing to do with that. That's based on HR 40, which y'all attack. That's based on NCOBRA, which y'all attack. And again, you talk about all these reparation task force going on around the country. Are you going to talk about Ed Blum suing to stop that money going out? And Trump joining forces with him? Are you going to talk about that? Are you going to talk about the partisan Supreme Court, which this case could go before, which most likely is going to rule with Trump and Ed Blum? Are you going to talk about that? Or are you just going to talk about attacking the Democrats still?
They are waiting us out to see if we're going to teeter off, and we haven't teetered off. We're still stomping on reparations business. So it's a process that we're still stomping for, because we're supposed to never get anything specific. Foundational Black Americans, contrary to any misbelief, we have never, ever, ever specifically gotten any type of tangible benefit from the U.S. government at the omission of other groups. Like, other people have gotten things that we've not gotten. Immigrants get shit that we can't get. It's the other way around. We have never received anything at the omission of other groups. And
Tariq is just lying. He don't know what he's talking about. Yes, Starbright, you're using the term correctly. Tariq is in fact a Republican shill. He's in fact a Republican shill. Anvil, that's not correct. They are getting reparations. That's not just their money. That's not just sanctions being released. They're getting money. You even got MAGA people acknowledging that they get in the bag, and they trying to spin it as, well, America's not giving the bag. It's the Gulf countries that's giving the money, not America. Yes, Iran is getting reparations. They get in the bag. They are getting a bag. If the deal goes through, they get in the bag. Like, they have already signed for the deal to go through, by the way. But we'll see. But as of right now, Trump administration has agreed to give Iran war reparations because we lost. Like, that's why people keep calling this right now the Treaty of Versailles, where Germany lost in World War I, and they had to sign that humiliating Treaty of Versailles and agree to pay war reparations. Shout out to everybody in the building.
And that's by design. So this is why we're forcing the conversation to be very specific for our lineage. We have to get something very specific and tangible, nothing symbolic, for us. And people are kicking and screaming and whining and complaining. Not only are the white supremacists doing it, all the buffer classes who benefit on us being on the bottom of the racial hierarchy, they get little benefits and set-asides too that we can't access to. So the name of the game, we're flipping the whole racial hierarchy. So that's going to be a process, and we're in it for the long haul. But reparations is going to come because we're too focused on it right now, and we're not letting up, and they see we're not letting up. So it's going to be very interesting, but it is going to come pretty soon. Now, how do you feel about reparations? Do you think we should get reparations?
Nonsense. Correct, Terrell. Tariq is an idiot shill. Yeah, I heard that the earlier today that the talks fell through. A part of the MOU was agreeing to pay the money. That was a part of it. Like, even to have the conversation, they agreed to give Iran, what was it, $12 billion in cash up front just to even sit down to have the conversation. Just to sit down and have the conversation. But yeah, let's keep going on this. They ain't got no time frame.
I think so. I've studied a lot of the plight of what I would say now that before I kind of found out about the movement, I kind of lumped everyone together. But when I knew about the foundational plight in the United States and such, things.
He's calling it a movement, Tariq. Movements have leaders. Are you going to not correct him and say FBA is not a movement? But because it's a white man, you got to show him proper deference and let him say whatever he got to say.
Like Tulsa, Oklahoma, and coming from a financial background, I know what damage events like that do to generational wealth. Like, for instance, I live in Manhattan Beach, and we all know about Bruce's Beach here and how that whole thing was taken away. So yeah, I'm for it, but not to cap on anything, but I feel like it is kind of weird when you have like an Ethiopian guy who shows up and then he hears about reparations. I would want it to be very directed toward like the true descendants.
Right.
So yeah, I would be for that.
Look, a white guy coming in pushing xenophobia, and Tariq is like glazing him. Like, when did you ever hear an example of an Ethiopian guy just coming to America and saying, "Hey, give me my reparations"? Never heard of that. That never happened. But he's saying it like this is a thing, and Tariq is agreeing with it like it's a thing. Remember, this goes back to the whole notion that we got to delineate so we could get our reparations, because The government doesn't know who is who, or because the immigrants are trying to take our reparations, or they trying to stop our reparations, and the only way to do it is to delineate. You got this white guy promoting this nonsense, and Tariq is agreeing with it. I wouldn't be surprised if this white guy was paid to call in.
But as long as it goes there, I don't know how you would figure that out. But if there was a true way to figure it out, I would actually be for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because look, France got reparations.
Oh look, he asked, "Is there a way to figure that out?" Because I would be for it. What's the way to figure that out? Oh, delineation. Oh, look at that. The white guy said, "Yeah, I'm for reparations, but I don't want no, you got Ethiopians coming over here trying to get it." And that's crazy. Is there a way to figure that out? How we can get reparations to the foundationals without getting it to the, the Ethiopians, the sneaky Ethiopians coming over here? Oh, is there a way? Oh, yeah, there is a way. It's something. It starts with a D. Oh, delineation.
From Haiti,
Yeah, that actually just ended not too long ago, which is kind of crazy.
Which is extremely crazy. So yeah, France got reparations from the people they enslaved. So all things are possible. All things are possible. But anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right, let me see who we got. Let me see. Y'all raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody raise your hands. Let's get All In Royalty in the building.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's speed him up again, because again, we're not doing that.
All In Royalty in the building. All in Royalty. And then we'll get Brother Dan. All In, you in here? All In Royalty ain't saying nothing. So let's get Smudge, and then we'll get Dan. Smudge, you in here? Mr. Smudge? Mr. Smudge. Let's get Dan.
I'm sorry, can you hear me, brother?
Oh, there you go. What's up, Smudge?
Hey, man, I'm a brother from PG County. I feel as though this is ground.
All right. Let's slow it down. See what he got to say.
Ground zero for.
All right, let's get Dan. Brother.
I'm sorry, can you hear me, brother?
Oh, there you go. What's up, Smudge?
Hey, man, I'm a brother from PG County. I feel as though this is ground zero for tethers.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to make it out.
Now he said PJ County is ground zero for tethers. Again, tether is a slur. And for all you don't know, PJ County about to be all black immigrant. Because as you know, PJ County was hailed as one of these affluent upper middle black middle class areas. And it's not so much anymore. You know why? Because Donald Trump won the election, and a lot of the black people who lived there were federal employees. And he's been firing black federal employees left and right. So a lot of black people can't afford to live in PJ County anymore. A lot of Native Black Americans can't afford to live there anymore, because a lot of them was able to live there through their federal job. But a lot of the black immigrants who live there work in the private sector. So they still have their jobs. So they can still live in PJ County. You see that? Instead of focusing on what Trump is doing to Native Black Americans in PJ County and other areas throughout this country, he's talking about tethers. Can't make this up. Can't make this up.
This is the richest black county. I just want to say thank you for all you do,
yes,
brother.
Sir, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, brother.
Yep. Talking about this is the richest black county. Yep, it's the richest black county, and it's about to be the richest black immigrant county, because that's going to be the only ones left. It's going to be the only ones
Dan,
left.
hop on in, Dan.
Ridiculous. But yeah, let's let them keep going.
Yo, Flex, was good, family? How you holding up,
Good,
man?
How's everything, Dan?
Yeah, so I wanted to just say something like what that guy just spoke. I don't know if he misunderstood it or not, but again, yeah, I remember it's election season. What's going on with the Iran situation? That's not reparations. So United States government controls the banking around the world. They froze $300 billion of Iran's money. So a part of this deal, they're just releasing their money back to them.
That's not true. That's not true at all. Emphatically, sitting here carrying water. You said Anvil is a troller. Let's see if he's trolling. Oh, yep, he is a troll, so we could get him out of here. He is a troll. This is probably him talking right now. Put him on timeout. Matter of fact, I made a mistake and blocked him. Yeah, that probably was him, because he just said you heard it. Bozo. But yeah, let's let this guy talk.
at the IRS, freeze your bank account and say, okay, you can have it back. It's not reparations. This is money that the Iranian government already had. It's the government froze.
First of all, even if that was true, which is not, that would still be reparations. Like, you do know that, right? When people take wealth from you and you get the wealth back, plus that's reparations. Because again, it's not just unfreezing their assets. It's giving them cash. Remember, just to sit down and have the conversation, America agreed to give Iran $12 billion in cash. Also acknowledge that, well, they're going to let traffic flow through the Strait of Hormuz without putting a toll on it for like what, 60 days, but after that they can put tolls on it, and all sanctions have been lifted. This is what reparations look like. You giving me back everything you took from me, plus that's reparations.
So what they're doing now is they're going around telling everybody, yo, they're giving Iranians reparations and they're not doing it for black people. And they're soft peddling this so they can come back later and say, hey, they gave the Iranians reparations, but they didn't give black people reparations. You should vote for us. Mm-hmm. That's all they're doing. They're just planting those seeds early. Because I'm looking at it right now and it says, President Trump pushed back against characterizations, calling certain reports fake news. He said, while emphasizing that it's Iran's money being unfrozen, similar to elements of the 2015 POA, which involved 50 to 150 billion sanctions, relief, unfrozen assets. So that's what they're doing. They're just unfreezing Iran's money. It is not reparations. It's not money from our.
Not true. Not true. That's a part of the deal. A part of the deal is unfreezing that money. And again, it's not even just really unfreezing the money. It's giving it back. Remember when Obama gave Iran back, like what was it? $400 million? They were saying Obama is surrendering. He's giving them reparations because that's exactly what exactly what it is. If I take something from you and I give it back plus interest, that's a reparations. That is literally reparations. You thought that money was just sitting in the bank somewhere, not being touched, not being used? What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Nonsense.
Our government flowing to theirs is like, all right, we're gonna let y'all have your money back. That's it. That's all.
Good. Thank you, brother. And I'm glad you put it in the right perspective because, yeah, these people, they'll just say some stuff and not put it in the right context. Black Lion, what's up, Black Lion?
I can't believe this. He just, first of all, Tariq, you are supposed to be the spokesman. You're supposed to be the educated one. People supposed to be tuning into you for education. How come you didn't know this? Exactly. All Obama did was unfreeze some assets, and what they say, oh, Obama's paying Iran, and people's like, well, that's their own money. No, so what? We got the money. We took it from them. Obama's giving it back. Oh, Obama's giving Iran reparations. Like, come on now. Hey, Purcell, what's up? I'm happy you just woke up. What's up? Like, this is nonsense. Well, yeah, let it keep going a little bit.
Hey, Tariq.
Hey, Black, how you doing, sis?
I'm good. Hope all is well with everyone. I was just calling because we got an update on the Asian white supremacists that lit the cross in Chicago.
What happened?
I've been waiting.
Look, another story Tariq wasn't really covering like that, and now people are bringing it up to him. Like I said, Tariq doesn't actually do anything. He's supposed to be keeping the people informed, but he doesn't actually know anything. He's just out living his life, letting them donations, living $1 million lifestyle, and then he comes live, talks about tethers, lets people come on so he can roast them, and let other people call in and say, hey, Tariq, you heard about this, you heard about that, and Tariq just agreed and nod his head. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up.
I've been watching, and that was almost a week. It's almost been a week since that happened, and they are just now arresting this dude. They don't let him do a whole news report, sit in the park and explain why he did it and all of that, and broadcasted on the news, and then they arrested him after.
And what did he say his motives were?
Because he want Trump impeached.
Okay, Lord. So
Exactly. And I'm saying, like, because now, well, not now, but over the past few days after the incident had happened, they started to report more on it on Chicago news channels, but they would distort the images. So making it seem like, oh, the cross is not really burning. We don't know who this person is, because now, you know, in certain.
Shout out to that. So that's amazing for coming through with the 5. Nope, he has not said anything about it. Nope. Trump has not said anything about it. He has not said anything about it.
News broadcasting, his image was distorted or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though we had already seen it from cell phone video of when it initially happened. And then as I'm, you know, processing this over this past week, a lot of things stood out to me. First of all, like, I knew he placed that there either the morning of or the night before. He did not do that spontaneously, just randomly. He planned that whole thing out. And then just a whole bunch of symbolism. He didn't stand that cross upright. He stood it up against a tree.
Lord.
A few days before Juneteenth. You see what I'm saying? And then you want to get on a news station and say that you did that because Trump is doing this and Trump is doing that, and you want Trump impeached.
Which is
That's his whole straight cap. And then not only that, just the location. There is no Black people around Grant Park. We either work in the area, because that's like minutes from downtown. So we work in the area or go to the schools, because there's plenty of schools and colleges in that area, as well as, you know, Art Institute of Chicago, all of that downtown. So we're only in that area there. The people that really live in those communities in that area are his people, the Iranians, Indians, and the whites. We not really over there like that. So, you know, just location and everything, timing, like I said, days before Juneteenth, he didn't come his ass to where we at. He ain't come out south. He ain't come over east. He ain't come out west. He ain't do none of that. He wouldn't have been able to run away from that.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, thank you so much, beloved. I appreciate you, dear. Thank you, dear. All
Brother Tariq.
What's up, all in?
Like, come on, Tariq. Again, you didn't even say anything. You didn't really even address it. You didn't even address it. You didn't even really address it. You really didn't even talk about it or nothing. Like, come on now. Ridiculous.
What's going on with you, man? Hey, I wanted to ask you, man.
And also to the point about Iran, I do not believe the Trump administration. The only people saying that money is none of that money is coming from the U.S. government is the Trump administration. And it's a reason why Republicans who would be in a position to know whether that's true or not is attacking the deal. Because they know that's cap. They know that's cap. We don't even have $300 billion worth of Iranian assets frozen. We don't even have that much. Like, come on. Like, ridiculous. Something about that $12 billion going to them is their own frozen assets. Assets. That don't even make sense. But yeah, let's keep it going. And other people are going to pay. Like, oh, we're not paying. It's the Gulf states and it's banks and it's companies that's paying the $300 billion, not America.
What happened to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles? I heard we don't own it no more.
I don't know. There's a few franchises out here in LA. I don't know who the owners are now, but I'm not sure. I know it was started by a brother, but yeah, I'm not sure if he franchised it out. I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, because I was told that we don't own it no more, and they changed everything. Like people were saying that it don't even taste the same. It kind of tastes like the white tea people was making it.
I know they got a lot of Hispanics who up in there. A lot of them up in there cooking some of the stuff. So
Exactly.
yeah, but are you out here in LA?
I live in Long
Okay.
Beach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Long Beach. I ain't been to that one in a minute, but yeah, I'm not sure who owns it now. But yeah, a lot of the businesses out here are just, it's all over the place. You don't know who's owning what now. Let's get Battle Kev in the building. Mr. Battle Kev.
Hey there, Tariq. How you doing? I just wanted to let y'all know regarding Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Yeah, they've been owned. The Hispanics took that over years ago because it was the Hollywood location was first. They started transitioning out the black folks, and more of the Hispanics took it over, and it's been going downhill ever since. And this has been like I'd say almost 10 years ago.
Oh wow, yeah, because
Yeah,
in Hollywood, it's nothing but Hispanics working in there.
correct, right, true. But now, no, they're all bad.
Oh man. Let me go ahead and wrap everything up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, let's get off that. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, make sure y'all smashing that like button. Exactly. I knew it. Like I said, it ain't no 300 billion. And they trying to say, well, oh, the Gulf states are gonna pay the rest. Because they said the Gulf states are gonna pay, but then they also say that, well, other people like businesses and corporations are gonna fit the bill too. What corporation is gonna help donate to that? Like, come on now. Like Trump think we stupid. Ain't like you gotta be stupid if you think that only they sending money. Exactly, J Rock. Exactly. But yeah, let's see something else. Let's see. Shout out to everybody in the building. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna see what's going on with Tariq crying about Ghana. Because you know he can't stop crying. He cannot stop crying. He cannot stop crying. Well, let's see.
Somebody help! Somebody help me! I know what's going on.
Now, what do y'all think the first thing we need to discuss? Y'all, let's see if we're on the same page. In the chat, what should we discuss first? Let me see if we're on the same page, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Father's Day. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Well, we talked about Karmelo. We talked about Karmelo already. I talked about that yesterday. There you go. Ghana.
Yeah. Oh, like, are we on the same page? Yeah, the same page to attack Ghana. Like, that's what FBA live for. They live to attack other black people. That's all they do. That's how they get their rocks off, attacking other black people for no reason. For no reason. Exactly, Star Bright. Just like he said, Mexico was going to pay for the wall. Just like, again, I just forgot. I didn't even remember that. Thank you for bringing that up. How many times have we heard Trump say other people were going to pay for something and then America ended up paying for it? And it was more expensive than it was supposed to be. But yeah, let's get back to this. Let's see what he got to say about Ghana.
Ghana. We got to talk about Ghana. Y'all already know. Oh, we got to talk about Ghana. Oh, my goodness. Family.
Exactly. They supposed to be not Africans, but they want reparations for what happened to enslaved Africans. They want to attack Ghana, but y'all didn't come from Ghana. Remember, y'all was already here. Y'all Aboriginal. So why y'all worrying about what Ghana's doing?
Did y'all see the video I posted on my Twitter? Over in Ghana, they had some type of slavery reenactment outside of one of the slave castles over there, I think in Accra. I don't know if it was Elmina. I don't know. They didn't say the name, but one of them slave castles over there. They had the people over there doing a ceremony, and they were acting like they were being enslaved, and they were chained, and they were crawling on the ground, screaming and crying and all this stuff. Oh, boy.
That's a fact. That's a fact, Terrell. That's a fact, Terrell Brown. Like on my second channel, we got the video. I show people the video when the Mexicans chased Tariq out of what you call it. They chased him right up out of LA. He went on vacation and left his FBAs behind.
Yeah, they were doing this ritualistic thing. A lot of people here kind of felt a way about that. They were not too pleased with that. They're trying to give the impression that they're honoring the people who were enslaved. A lot of people look at it as a form of mockery, the way they were doing it. All right? It was real weird. It was real strange. And people are justified in having an issue with that performative, symbolic, gesticulating.
Shout out to President Jafar in the building. Again, he's not African. So what is he worrying about? And like Starbright said, it did come up in his DNA result. But again, he's claiming to be some type of Aboriginal FBA bozo. So why are you worrying about what we doing in Ghana? Are you worrying about like get out of African business? Go worry about Aboriginal business. Shout out to That's Amazing for the double up with the 5. It kind of feel like deja vu because again, they're repetitive. They cry, they make up they tell the same lies over and over and over and over and over again. They do the same things over and over and over again. It's like, come on, man. When y'all gonna stop? When y'all gonna stop? This like y'all ain't got nothing better to do with y'all life. Y'all ain't got nothing better to do.
Actions over there. People, they're very justified in having a reason to not feel it. One of the things I think a lot of people have an issue with is the historical hypocrisy of the so-called tribute. You know what I'm saying? The lack of historical accountability. See, the people putting on these performative theatrics, these are the descendants of the ethnic groups that captured and sold people. Oh, we're not going to forget that. They're doing all of this stuff thinking we're going to forget. No. We're not going to forget now. Y'all were selling people to them European buyers. Now, you were profiting off the sale of captives centuries ago. Now you're cosplaying as the captives as a so-called tribute. It just looks disingenuous.
Tariq, I thought you FBA bozos, again, y'all was already here. Remember, Tariq was just arguing that like what? Only 5% of the slaves came over here? So why are you worrying about this? Y'all said the majority of Africans who were brought here came to the Caribbean and came to South America. So that whole transatlantic slave trade story don't really got nothing to do with y'all because only a tiny bit of Africans that were brought here and most of y'all got no African ancestry. So why y'all worrying about what Ghana is doing? Why are y'all worrying about it? Also, Ghana is a part of the Black American diaspora. There's a whole Black American community in Ghana who does Juneteenth events. So what are you talking about? Shout out to President Jafar for the 2. Thank you. Yeah, why do y'all care? Y'all not African, remember? Why do y'all care what Ghana is doing? Leave this to the people from the Caribbean. Leave this to people from South America, remember? That's where the slaves went, right? So why are you worried?
Yeah, you can't really honestly honor the people your history discarded. You understand? No, y'all not getting off the hook, man. Y'all not gonna really get off the damn hook. And you know what I think this is, man? This is a hijacking of the foundational Black American reparations momentum. As we know, foundational Black Americans,
How can they hijack a reparations momentum that you have built that got nothing to do with them, and what they got nothing to do with you? Again, like how we got to keep saying this? Y'all not from Ghana. Y'all Aboriginal, remember? Y'all Moorish explorers. So what does this have to do with y'all?
built the modern reparations movement from the ground up. We have turned it into a legitimate, undeniable political conversation here in the United States. Now that momentum is undeniable because remember, the tethers were telling us we ain't gonna ever get nothing. We need to stop begging. Those were the same. Remember, they were telling us that. Let's stop playing.
Tether is a slur.
About a decade ago, those same people doing all of these gestures were telling us we need to stop begging the white man and pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and we ain't gonna get nothing. They were the main ones hating on it. Now that we played past them and we got that momentum going with reparations and we've delineated, so now they can't come in our spaces misrepresenting us. Now these theatrics look like a calculated political mover. It looks like an opportunistic attempt to basically intercept or just capitalize on that reparations momentum so they can siphon off any kind of global funding or resources and they can get it back over there to them. That's what that whole Ghana going to the UN was about.
Nah, he is becoming delusional because it's only but so long you could peddle in delusions before it actually affects you. But he's not delusional. He knows his audience. Again, he's a cult leader. So he got to peddle fantasies to his cult members. Shout out to That's Amazing for the triple up. Exactly. Again, we touched on that. He complaining about everything except Trump filing this reparation. Again, matter of fact, let's take it back to the UN. That's Trump's representative, was at the UN saying that Black people in America don't deserve reparations for slavery because slavery was legal. They ain't have nothing to say about that. And they ain't saying nothing about this Evanston situation neither. Shout out to you again, bro, for the support.
And we rejected that over here. We're like, no. Ghana does not represent us. No. Ghana doesn't represent us. See, they're cosplaying trauma as a tourist attraction.
Again, you was attacking Ghana for standing up at the UN, but you ain't say nothing about Trump. Also sending his people to stand up at the UN and say Black people don't deserve nothing. Slavery was legal. Get over it.
Turning the horrors of slavery into an over-the-top, exaggerated stage play. Is this a mockery of the ancestors' suffering? You know, the transatlantic slave trade, that was a centuries-long atrocity that they took part in. So yeah, we feel a certain way about that. And they're monetizing it. They get money doing that. They're over there doing all that performing for tourists. And like I said, when I was over there in Senegal, when I wanted to go visit the damn slave castles and all that, they charged me double than they charged the locals. They charge foundational Black Americans more money to go over there to see that shit. Do y'all know that? If you've been over there, you know what I'm talking about. They charge us more than the locals. Oh, yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't believe nothing you say, Tariq. You're such a liar. I can't trust you. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they charge me double than they were charging the locals over there. Yeah, so they're still capitalizing. They're still capitalizing off of it. And those reenactments, I guess they're designed to trigger an emotional reaction from tourists. and certain black folks who go over there try to search for their roots, and that's kind of drying up because people are standing on lineage business over here. So they want to get people to open up their wallets and all that shit. So
if people are standing on so much lineage business over here, so people don't care about their roots, why don't you stand on lineage business and stop worrying about what's going on in Ghana? How about you follow suit and stop worrying about what's going on in Ghana and just focus on lineage business, like the business of Trump saying black people don't deserve reparations and him joining a lawsuit saying that black people shouldn't get reparations to try to stop black people and Evanston from getting reparations. You know, if they go to the Supreme Court and Trump and them win, that basically kills reparations officially at every level, local, state, and federal.
You know,
I wonder what they're going to say then. What are they going to say? Well, we could go to the UN and try to get the UN to force America to give us reparations. Are you going to say that?
It's a little finesse. And it's a reparations by proxy finesse. They want to try to now portray themselves as the ultimate victims of the slave trade through these reenactments. That's a low-key campaign to make the continent the center of the reparations debate. See, that ignores the reality that while the continent lost.
Shout out to President Jafar for the double up, coming through with the 5. Exactly. Shout out to Barbados for leading the way. Like, we ain't got time to be worrying about like, again, real people out here doing real things. They ain't worrying about FBA nonsense. Can't believe this. Like, literally a bozo. Literally a bozo. Crying about bozo stuff.
People or whatever, the people who were subjected to centuries of free labor and systemic terror and Jim Crow and redlining, that was us over here. Framing Ghana as the target for global guilt money, that's a finesse that they want to use to erase the specific targeted lineage claims of the freedmen here. And if they really wanted to truly honor the captives, the approach would be fundamentally different. You know? But the thing is, there's a disconnect in lived lineage. A lot of the people performing this, they're acting out a history that they did not inherit. These are the descendants of the people who sold the victims of the slave trade. All right? They do not have the same lived lineage or generational trauma of chattel slavery in the Americas. You understand? So they're trying to mimic a pain that they do not inherently understand. That's why it looks weird. You know? So the performative nature of it just felt real cartoonish and over the top and ultimately very disrespectful to the people whose bloodline who survived that nonsense. You know?
Again, y'all not Africans. Like, this is like annoying. Like, y'all not Africans, bro. Y'all said it yourself. Stand on lineage business. Stop worrying about what we doing. Oh, we got a troll in the building. You say you standing on FBA business? Well, go stand on FBA business somewhere else, troll. Like, nonsense. Let me see. Let's get you up out of here. Exactly. This guy's a total bozo. I don't know who's that in the background. That's probably Tariq's family or something. His kids running around. You know, he do this in in his spare time. He do stuff like this, and he go back to living his $1 million lifestyle, not paying attention to nothing that's actually going on with black people or helping black people, or using any of that money to help black people. Mind you, they criticize black athletes and other black people who made their money not talking this pro-black stuff all the time for not using that money to do no pro-black stuff. While they made millions talking that pro-black stuff, and they never used their money for any pro-black stuff. So yeah, let's keep it going.
It's very interesting. Let me talk to the family. Let me talk to the family, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all hop on in here, ladies and gentlemen. Raise your hand. Let me get some of the family in here. What's up, Samantha Shy? Hop on in, family. Let me see who we got. Everybody raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready to get on. Raise your hands We're not going to do all this stuff where I'm trying to get folks on and they're not raising their hand. Let's get Victor. Let's get Mr. Victor. Hop on in, Victor. Victor.
Let's see. I'm about to put him in double speed. Let's see if it's anything else worth talking about.
You.
What's up, Victor? How are you?
Oh, man. What's up, big homie?
All right. Let's put it back on regular speed. See what's going on.
I'm good, man. What's going on with you, brother?
I'm maintaining. I'm in Philly at the moment. I'm chilling.
Shout out to Philly.
Yeah. I'm falling back. I just wanted to come up and let you know I apologize for all the negative that was brought to me about you.
How stupid is this person? This is the type of people who follow FBA. He apologizing for all the negative that somebody else brought to him. That's what he just said. I apologize for all the negative that was brought to me about you.
What happened?
No, you know, all the controversial and stuff like that. But I fell back and I was listening to you, and the more and more that I was listening to you, I was like, ain't no way in the world that these people is hating on him.
Right.
Because everything that you showed us is right, and there's that. And I appreciate that. And I just want to give you your flowers and pour out a little liquor to you, etc.
Yeah.
You need to put down the liquor. Like you let him salute you. You need to tell him put that liquor down.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir. Yeah.
All the rest of that liquor could sound like you've been drinking it. All right.
Vegeta, you already know he is missing teeth. You already know. You hear it. He drunk and missing teeth.
Pour the rest of that liquor all the way out. Good Lord. Brother been hitting that bottle. It's okay. It's all right. Shout out to him. All right. Let me see. Y'all raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Was a sister up here, and I don't know what happened to you, sis. All right. Let's get TikTok. What's up, TikTok? Mr. TikTok.
What's up, Tariq?
How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, I worked with you, man, a while back, 2011, man. You hired me to play a basketball player at the park for your commercial you had.
Exactly. Never heard of smart FBA caller. Never heard of smart FBA caller. Yeah, and it's a good thing he did. I got to give Tariq his credit. He did tell the dude to drop that bottle. Drop that bottle. Shout out to Mr. G's in the building. That's a fact. That's a fact. Oh, we got a racist white troll in the building. Get you up at it. All right, let's see what Tariq gonna say now.
Over there on in Chatsworth?
Yeah, man, I appreciate you, man, for hiring me, man. That's when I first came to LA, man.
Oh, cool. Man, that's beautiful. What you up to now, man?
I'm actually producing and directing and acting out here now, man. So I'm working on my story. I got charged for a crime I didn't commit. I lost 5 basketball scholarships. So I'm doing my story. Yeah. But I ain't gonna hold you, man, because I know you be getting up off of here, man. But thank you, man. I'm learning a lot from you. How do I get that shirt you had before? You had a shirt that had
the Olmecs on it, right?
It was a black, she was a black Statue of Liberty.
Look, talking about Olmecs on the shirt. You got Olmecs on your shirt, bro. Why you worrying about Ghana? Who is this? VCV? You asking me this question?
Oh, yeah. I love that shirt. Oh, yeah. Thank you. We still might have some of those at the office. So email me and I'll see what's up with that. We still might have some of them left. But yeah, that was over a decade ago. Yes, indeed. All right. Yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Father's Day. All right. Magnitude. Let's get Magnitude TV. Magnitude.
Lex, what's up, Captain?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Can you hear me? What's up with the homie on there? He sounded like he was drinking a little something. He all
Oh
right?
yeah. He had a little night train. He was getting him a little sip for the weekend, enjoying his weekend. How you been, brother?
I'm good, man. Always good to tap in with you, man. You know, FBA actually tapping in from Delaware, man. And I just wanted to, always tap in with you and show my appreciation. Actually, just recently opened an event space, reopened an event space and a co-working space, trying to follow in those traditional FBA footsteps of, enterprising and entrepreneurship. And I just wanted to say too, man, I know that you busy and the brother my guy Marquette is busy as well, but definitely, man, just wanted to lend some insight, man, and see if y'all could just link up and do some content together, bro. Honestly, like I know both of y'all have similar styles, y'all have different ways y'all deliver, but y'all got a lot of similarities in the way you deliver.
Shout out to RBG for the win, for coming through with the $4.99 super sticker. Much appreciated, brother.
For a lot of value and truth and I just think that would be interesting for you and him both, you know what I mean, to kind of uplift one another between, YouTube and the social media platform. So just wanted to lend some insight. Looking forward to the Hidden Colors coming out and, keep on uplifting our people, man. Always a pleasure to rap with you.
Respect you. Shout out to brother Marquette. Shout out to that brother. Donovan, what's up, Donovan?
How you doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. I don't know if you remember me. I was up here a couple weeks ago. But as for the Ghana situation, they trying to profit off the front end, selling slaves in the first place hundreds of years ago. Now the back end today. Unfortunately, we got to look at these people just like any other group trying to profit off our struggle. That's all it is. Unfortunately, like they don't identify with our struggle. They don't see it. They just see it as another opportunity to make some money. Unfortunately, it's especially like you mentioned the reparations thing that they're trying to grift on. It's not a general grievance, right?
Yeah.
It's a specific. Hey, our group, we put billions of hours, almost trillions of hours in the free slave labor that y'all extracted. We want that money back. It's not y'all mistreated us, give us some money. That's something completely different. We talking specifically practicality. Y'all got this amount of hours from us extracted as slaves. It's time for y'all to pay that back. That's all it is. So these other groups trying to latch on, I get it, but unfortunately we got to look at them like any other group trying to profit off what we got going on. That's all I really got to say.
No doubt. Thank you so much, brother.
Most likely, a lot of these black streamers, they falling off, so now they trying to grift the FBA stuff. They trying to grift the FBA stuff. They trying to grift the grift. But we don't let Tariq go on for like a little 2 more minutes of this, and then we're gonna have to switch it up.
It's what's your name? Dara.
Durasco. It's just my initials and my last name. But what's up? Proud FBA here.
Yes,
and I wanted to ask you something because I've been following you for years now,
Yes,
and I've learned a ton. And thank you so much for that because, without folks like you, folks like me would have been lost because I grew up in the burbs. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, my thought or my question rather is around the time when I first started following you was when the ADOS split and FBA split happened. And I remember you was having all of these debates with these white tea supremacists. And I don't remember none of these people being in these debates banging on the white tea supremacy until basically you and others proved that it really was a thing. And then all of those white tea supremacists, alt-right, talking heads, they fell back, right? And it seems like they sent their minions to basically, muddy the waters and form like Voltron against us. And, am I mistaken? Or because I know I'm kind of new to this.
Yes, you are mistaken. You're claiming that somehow that Tariq defeated white supremacists and they had to go get black immigrants to protect them. Nonsense. Shout out to Khan Guru for the $4.99. Exactly. Like I said, they don't even care. The only reason they even covered that issue is again because it was in the news, clout chasing. He don't care. They should still be talking about that. They should still be talking about that. They barely even talked about it. Once it was out the news, they was done with that. Just like Tariq didn't even talk about the Asian dude burning the cross. Somebody else had to call in for him to do that. Nonsense. Thank you again for the $4.99. Tariq a total bozo. FBA stands for Foundational Black Americans. It's a hate cult and a white nationalist psyop.
But do you see that too? Like where those folks fell off and it's like they sent their minions?
Yeah, well, let me break all of that down, and we got to get the wording right. When people say there's a split between ADOS and FBA and all that, first of all, I was never a part of the group, the organization ADOS.
Yes, you were, Tariq. You was repping ADOS the whole time. You was repping ADOS the whole way through. Stop it. Now you was never a part of it. You're using the ADOS ideology because it's not an FBA ideology. It's the ADOS ideology. The only difference between you and ADOS is that you're a grifter and you're more cultish and less politically active. And you rely more on xenophobia. Your xenophobia is on 11. That's it. That is it.
All right. Oh, ADOS as an organization, I've never co-signed it. I've never legitimized it. I've never co-signed the organization ADOS. And that's an organization, a self.
Look, now he's trying to play word games like, well, I never identified with the organization. I never did with the organization. Like, come on, man, you a liar. You were so dicked out behind ADOS that you attack Malcolm X for them. I got the audio of all that. I got the audio. And remember, he was refuting. When I used to say ADOS was a group, he used to argue people down that it wasn't a group. He only started calling it a group after he fell out with Yvette Carnell and them. That's it. Before that, they wasn't a group. Matter of fact, yeah.
Proclaimed organization. When I talked about being a descendant of American slave, I'm talking about lineage. Everything I've always said was about lineage. From the very beginning, I have never been a part of no group. I'm not a part of a group now. All right? I do not do groups.
But you just said FBA is a movement, and you just let the white guy come in and call y'all a movement. That's a group. But yeah, let's get to this audio. Everybody can see my screen. You coming in good? Good. Let's listen to Tariq defend ADOS as not a group. Again, he only started calling them a group after he fell out with them. But before that, they was not a group. Mind you, nothing had changed. Because if you ask Tariq, what has changed between when you said this and between when now you're calling them a group? What had changed? Nothing.
Meaning foundational Black Americans who are the foundation of this country. That's the group. And that group includes Dr. Martin Luther King and many other foundational Black Americans who are prominent. You dig? Because people who got a problem with American descendants of slaves, and you got a problem with Harriet Tubman.
Remember, you just heard him. ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery. That's what it's called. Really, he even got it wrong.
You got a problem with Malcolm X, not Malcolm, with Martin Luther King. Meaning foundational Black Americans who are the foundation of this country. That's the group. And that group includes Dr. Martin Luther King and many other foundational Black Americans who are prominent. You dig? Because people who got a problem with American descendants of slaves, and you got a problem with Harriet Tubman, you got a problem with Malcolm X, not Malcolm, with Martin Luther King.
Mind you, again, when Tariq is us arguing people down that ADOS is not a group, he's arguing against me. I'm the one who first called ADOS a group. I'm the first one to call them a group. And I called them a hate group. I was the one. So he was doing videos responding to me about ADOS not being a group. He did several videos about this. He only started calling them a group when they fell out. Like again, because if you ask Tariq, what had changed between the time when you first started repping it to the time when you stopped repping it? What had changed? Nothing had changed. The only thing that had changed was your relationship with Tone and Yvette. They didn't say anything new. Everything was already the same. Shout out to That's Amazing for coming through with another 5. No, that's not even the issue. You know, because Tariq didn't even want to come to the conference. If you want to be real, the issue was Tariq was doing too much meat riding of Donald Trump in the open, and Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks told him to fall back. Because remember, I was the one pointing out that ADOS was a white nationalist psyop, and they was pro-Trump. They was pro-Trump. And then what happened? They came up with the whole quote-unquote down ballot scheme to say, look, how could we be pro-Trump and we talking about voting down ballot for Democrats? And I pointed out that that's still Trump support because you're telling people to vote for every Democrat except the one running against Trump, which leads to what happening? If people follow that advice, Trump winning. That's Trump support. And then Tariq came out right around the same time and started meat riding Trump heavy, like directly, like, yo, Trump got some good plans. And people was like, see, we told y'all ADOS is a Trump group. Look what Tariq is doing. And that's when they called Tariq out, like, yo, what are you doing? You see them calling us Trump supporters. Why are you coming out here meat riding Trump? That's literally how ADOS FBA broke up, because Tariq was riding around here meat riding Donald Trump. That's how it all fell apart, because Tariq Nasheed couldn't stop meat riding Donald Trump. Crazy. You are right. None of these people would ever claim FBA. He's just trying to put the FBA title on them. Disgusting. Yeah, let's go back to this video. Let him finish talking.
I ain't a part of no damn group. Lineages are not supposed to be groups. That ADOS, they were confusing people with bullshit. They were muddying the water. They got co-opted. They got sucked in by the Democrats, and they started Democrat shilling. That's why they fell off.
See, he's calling them Democratic shills. That's where the whole thing came out. When they was telling him, like, yo, you doing too much Trump meat riding. You causing too much problems. And that's when he started calling them Democratic shills. When anybody who's pro-Democrat would know ADOS is not Democratic shills. They're Republican shills, just like Tariq is. But again, Tariq is less educated. He's more stupid, and his audience is stupider too. Because I'm not going to hold you. A lot of the people who came into ADOS, the ADOS ideology, the FBA stuff, came in via Tariq because they was too stupid to come in via Yvette Carnell. It's just that simple.
All right? That's why that brand fell off. It all fell off. They're mad at me and all that. You don't get mad at me. They started a group, and people were joining the group, and people saw how janky the leaders were and just abandoned them. You understand? They were trying to tell people to vote down Democrat, just a bunch of weird shit. I was never with that. I've always been lineage-based, so there was no split. We just kept focusing on lineage. There was no split. You can't split from your lineage. All right? Even back then, I would use ADOS and FBA interchangeably. I would use it interchangeably because Strappy and Tone Tits were out here confusing everybody.
How did you get confused? See, this is the point. If you could have got confused, because again, the only way they could have confused you if you was running around meat riding behind him. Tariq just exposed himself. Because remember, Tariq tried to lie and say, well, I never was following Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks. I was following Dr. Claude Anderson. That's a lie. Because if you was following Dr. Claude Anderson the whole time, how did Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks confuse you? Because remember, Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks got beef with Dr. Claude Anderson, and they was roasting Dr. Claude Anderson around this time, and you were silent about it. You never once stood up for Dr. Claude Anderson when they was going in on him. You never once did, Tariq. The only person who stood up for Dr. Claude Anderson during this time was Dr. Boyce Watkins. The rest of y'all was 10 toes down, meat riding Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks. The whole quote unquote new black media all turned their back on everybody. Dr. Francis Quest Wilson, Dr. Claude Anderson. Y'all turned y'all back on everybody and everything. Dr. Ben, Dr. John Henry Clark. Y'all turned y'all back on them. All of y'all did. Y'all turned y'all back on them. The only person who stood with Dr. Claude Anderson during this time was Dr. Boyce Watkins. That was the only one. Only one. Only one.
We're getting very confused about lineage. Is it a group? And they running around telling people they're the leaders. I'm like, hey. I said, no. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Nothing to do with none of that. So they got co-opted early by the Democrats. The Democrats don't like us delineating because us delineating messes up the vote for them. The Democrats need a big generic minority voting block, and they need us to be the fuel for it. They need us to be the base for their voting block, and we have to think in terms of a generic minority. So when we vote, we got to come in thinking that we're going to be locked in arms with Hispanics and Asians and Middle Easterners and LGBT and all of these other so-called minority groups. When we start focusing on lineage, we're like, damn, all of that. What are we going to get out of this deal? We are focusing on what we're going to get as a lineage. The Democrats do not like that.
Exactly. But I got to correct you, Vegeta. FBA comes out of ADOS. That whole delineation ideology comes from ADOS. That's why I say it's the ADOS ideology that they are promoting. Tariq just took it and tweaked it a little bit, made it less political, more xenophobic, and added a bunch of nonsense in it and made it more cultish. That's the only thing different. Yes, make sure y'all smashing the like button. I only got a little bit of likes. For all the people who've been in here tonight, I got a little bit of likes. Make sure y'all help get them likes up. And again, if you can't support monetarily, you can support with a fire emoji. You can support by hitting that reaction heart.
Democrats have been the main people attacking lineage. They've been the main ones sending ops and all of these tethers and sending all of these agent provocateurs and all of our spaces to undermine us. We've done events. The Democrats have sent these feds and these ops to undermine our events. This delineation is very hard on the Democrats.
Who undermining what event? Like when was Fed sent to undermine an event? Name the FBA event that was being undermined.
Because now we can't be manipulated by them like we used to be. We're asking or telling everybody in the political sphere, you're going to have to earn our damn vote. We're not going to be scared into voting. You're not going to use civil rights symbolisms. You're going to have to come through with tangibles for foundational Black Americans. So that busts up their whole little hustle. This is the reason why they lost the last election. They lost the last election, and they know why they lost. They lost because of delineation.
Mind you, now when people say that Tariq and them made the Democrats lose, what they gonna say? Oh, we didn't make the Democrats lose. Why are people blaming us? Why are people blaming us? This is him right here taking credit for saying that the Democrats lost because of the work he put in. But when somebody says that and point out that they're pro-Trump, they're gonna be like, oh, we don't know what you're talking about. When somebody say, y'all made the Democrats lose, you're gonna be like, oh, why people are blaming us? Why do we get blamed for this? Why are we getting blamed for this? What about white women? What about Latinos? But here you are taking credit for the Democrats losing. You're taking sole credit too. You're not just saying, well, we were a part of the reason. You're saying we are the reason. We were the reason.
They had a tether. They were running her around, and nobody went for it. They had a
tether is a slur. Shout out to Kangaroo for coming through with another $4.99. No, they didn't. Tariq probably took his family on vacation. But no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Exactly, V. David. They was pointing at, they were saying, oh, Latinos, white women, oh, this one, that one, that one. When people say, hey, when people say that they made them lose, then they don't want to take the credit. But when it's their turn to take the credit on their own in their own little spaces, yeah, then they want to do it. Oh, we got the hood mistress in the building. Exactly. Tariq is the tether.
Cosplaying Tether, running around here trying to sister girl her way to the White House, and we said no. That's a Punjabi mammy. She ain't offering nothing for us. In fact, she told us what the hell she ain't gonna do for black people, and we said, okay, all right, well, say less. Well, I ain't gonna give you this vote either. You understand? So that's where we are. All that bathwater greens and shit, all of that stuff where they want to talk at us and talk down us. Now, we've changed that whole game, ladies and gentlemen. This whole thing where people can just shame us and disrespect us into voting for them, they never tried that with any other group. This is why it was important for us to get our cultural and collective self-esteem up. That was very important. That's why a lot of people are mad at me, because I show people, man, you better stop letting folks talk to you and our lineage fucked up. Nobody's at liberty to talk to us janky.
Tariq is so stupid. You can't even make this up. You can't make this up. Like, he just be making up stuff. Like, you can't make it up how much he makes up stuff. And people really be going for this, thinking he teaching. Exactly. That's all they did for Juneteenth. They didn't celebrate Juneteenth. They spent the whole Juneteenth just sitting around attacking people. They didn't attack no FBAs. They attacked Native Black Americans. They attacked Black Americans. They attacked people from the Caribbean. They attacked Afro Latinos. They attacked everybody else. That's all they did. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yes, it is very disrespectful. But yeah, let's let them finish this up.
Nobody. I start telling people, man, you better understand history. Don't let these tethers and Democrat shields come around us, cursing us out, telling us we better vote and scaring us and telling us we're stupid, bringing out the Roland Martins. Every time election season comes around, y'all stupid fools, y'all better vote, vote for Karmelo, you stupid ass dummies. Man, we're not doing that no more. Y'all not going to run around here talking at us without offering us nothing. You don't offer us nothing and then talk crazy to us. So no. We got to get our cultural self-esteem up. You better know who the hell you are. You are a foundational Black American. You are pivotal to this country. That's why the term foundational Black American took off more than American descendants of slaves. You understand? Wording is very important. When you say American descendants of slaves, I mean, that's a cool term, but it just keeps you in a victim mode.
Now it's a cool term that keeps you in victim mode. Why wasn't you saying this when you was running around for a whole year pushing that term? See, this is another thing. Everything he ever said against ADOS was things I was saying about ADOS. I pointed out when I was calling them a group. When I said that term is about what's the point of sitting around here calling yourself a slave all day? About how you can't descend from slavery. That's like saying I'm a descendant of a police station. All these things I said, and they argued against it for a year. Soon as you fell out with them, everything I ever said about them, you started saying about them. This dude is a bozo. Total bozo. It's gonna haunt him, but not really, because you know his audience is stupid. Tariq can say anything he wanna say. He can say anything he wanna say, and they gonna just go for it. Like right now, we watched Tariq attack Ghana. Said he didn't say a word about Trump and them saying that black people don't deserve no reparations because slavery was legal. Not a word. Audience still rocking with him. Oh, what's going on? We got a troll in the building? Let me know.
That puts you in a victim mode. But when you say foundational Black American, now that puts you more into an authoritative position. That puts you in a more pivotal position by saying you are the foundation, which is true, because nobody can deny that. We are the foundation of this country. Foundational Black Americans, we are literally the foundation of this country. That's either true or false, and it's 100% true. So that puts us in a very special historic position. We are a very unique, special class of people, and everybody knows it. They know it. That's why, most people prefer FBA because it has more dignity.
So if it has more dignity, how did you just now figure that out? Again, you was pushing ADOS for a whole year. No. Let me be correct. You was pushing it for 11 months. You pushed it for 11 months. 11 months. So it took you 11 months to figure that out?
Or a foundation of something, automatically that brings respect. You come in the door with respect, and now people
Exactly. This is what Tariq is doing. He's taking he's filling a bunch of losers head up that they actually have power, that they are actually powerful. They can actually tell people what to do. They can actually boss up on people. Like, which is crazy. Imagine thinking you can boss up on somebody because your ancestors were enslaved. Imagine thinking you the boss because you was the worker. Can't make this up. And not even just a worker, an involuntary worker. You didn't do that because you wanted to, and you ain't get nothing out of it either. Exactly. Can't make this up. Yes, they really think they got power. They got no power. No, I'm anti-segregation. I'll never advocate for segregation. Segregation is a superior telling the inferior what they can and cannot do.
are forced to show respect coming in the door. And they're not supposed to do that, but we're forcing them to. And people are getting checked now, and I love it. Now, whenever these tethers start talking crazy, everybody's on their bumper now. Ain't nobody breathing with that bullshit no more. And we should have been on that a long time ago. You understand? We should have been on that a long time ago. And I start seeing early on, look, because some of us who travel a lot, who's been to a lot of these different countries and been around the world and all that, dude, I was telling people, man, there's no way we're going to let any of these people come over here and talk greasy to.
That's a lie, Tariq. You was the one talking greasy. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find the clip when you was the main one shitting on black people in America, bigging up other people. That was your whole shtick. You was telling people to go get their passport and flee America to go to Ghana. You was talking about how much better Africans and Caribbeans are than black people in America, how they more black than us, how they honor blackness, how we just want to sit around and hang around white people and beg and scrape beneath them. Come on, man. No, I don't hate white people.
Was under no circumstance. One of the first people, and I talk about this a lot, Dinesh D'Souza, because people like him, they come over here and just make careers denigrating us, talking about all the crime in Chicago, all the crime in South Central LA, all the crime in Atlanta. And I said, wait a minute. I was one of the first people to say, hey, wait a minute. These people come from floating crap holes.
That's a lie. Tariq, you are such a liar. You are such a liar. You was the main one meat riding and dick eating all these other groups. You were the main one constantly. Oh, people, I'm talking about voting. Y'all come and be like, oh, fuck voting. We don't need to vote. Asians don't vote. Asians don't vote. So why should we vote? We should be like them Asians. We got to be like them Indians. We got to be like them Arabs. We got to be like them Africans. We got to be like them West Indians. That's all y'all used to say. That's all y'all used to say. That's all y'all used to say. Oh, we got a troll in the building. All right. Let me see. All right. Yeah, you trumping it up. So we got to get you, put you on timeout, get you up out of here. But yeah, that's all. That's all.
Dinesh D'Souza is from Mumbai, India. Have y'all seen Mumbai? It's a floating damn toilet. Why are we letting people who come from floating toilets tell us about Chicago? So I started giving people the language to check these damn people.
That's a lie. First of all, I was the one who originally started doing that. Like, hey, you can't talk down on us. Because if I was to say against your country what you say against our communities, you would start talking about white supremacy and about colonization. And it can't be both. You can't have it both ways. It can't be white supremacy that black people face as a non-factor. We should just pull ourselves up about our bootstraps and stop talking about it, while you get to complain about the conditions of your countries and just keep talking about colonization all day. Keep talking about what the British did to y'all, what the French did to y'all, what the Spanish did to y'all, what the Dutch did to y'all, what the Germans did to y'all. That I'm like, you can't have it both ways. I was the one who pointed that out. Me. While you were sitting around meat riding these people like they was correct about everything they would say. You was the one that had people on the show talking about, oh, you know what you blacks need to do? You need to be more like us. And you be like, yep, we need to be more like y'all. That's what y'all used to do. I never did nothing like that. I got no talk like that in my history. That's what y'all used to do. And also, you bastardize my talking point because you're not even using it right. Because again, you can't attack people saying, oh, your country is messed up. So what? It ain't about where you at. I mean, it's not where you from, it's where you at. They in America and they doing good in America. They outperforming you in America. Who cares what's going on back there? That ain't got nothing to do with them. They here. And they doing better than you here. Talk about here. That's the issue at hand. You had the advantage. You the foundation. How they surpassed you here. That's what matters. Talking about like that doesn't even mean anything. It doesn't.
Myron Gaines? We gonna let Myron Gaines talk greasy? He's Sudanese. Do you know what they do in the Sudan? They rinse their hair with cow piss. You gonna let him talk crazy? That's why I go in them rooms and shut him down. I'm like, no. Y'all not gonna talk crazy about us at all. And you done fled your ass over here. We saved many of you. If it were not for foundational Black Americans, you'd be wiping your hair with placenta from cows and goats.
Exactly. He took all that. He collected all that money for Haiti. Remember, he was dick riding Haiti like crazy. Remember, I was the one who pointed out, saying like, hey, why are you doing a documentary about Haitians when you haven't even done a documentary about Black people fighting for their freedom? What did he say and others say? We didn't free ourselves like the Haitians did. That's a fact. I was the one who was pushing the whole Black people in America freed themselves. And while they were saying Black people in America never did nothing, they had to wait for the white man to free them. Facts. Facts. I don't know what you're talking about. You said that makes no sense. And you said how you beg somebody to come somewhere else or whatever. Immaterial. It's all about the here and the now. You think somebody care about you talking about, you think somebody in India who's from Indian descent in America cares about what you saying? Indians is one of the most prosperous groups in America. You think they care about, oh, you had to come to America. So what? And what that got to do with Black people? This is not your country. What part of that don't you understand? This is not black people country. Y'all let Tariq stoop y'all head up like y'all got say so. Nobody got to ask nobody who claiming foundational black American permission to do nothing in this country. Not to come here, not to live here, not to prosper here, not to learn here, not to lay down roots here. Nothing. Nothing. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. This is not your home. You don't got no say so. In fact, you're the biggest fleer of all people. Like, I don't know why your FBAs keep doing this. Y'all the ones who fled. Y'all the ones who ran. Y'all the ones who went to go live with white people. There's plenty of black towns that black people could have stayed in and built up, but instead of building them up, they abandoned them to go live in cities that white people built. Oh, we got a fake indigenous person in here. You got to go. Now you're a part of a tribe. Let me see. Did I block you? Let me just put you on timeout. Nonsense. Talking about he's a part of a tribe. Even if you was a part of a tribe, this ain't your country no more either. I don't know. Remember nobody having to ask a Native American to do permission to do nothing in this country. I never did. I never did. That's exactly. Not only see a pretendian, but like, a matter of fact, let's just keep going. Because again, it's getting late.
Yeah, that's why they get mad at me, because I check the hell out of them with their own culture. I'm hitting you with your own culture. They know I know what I'm talking about because I done been over there to your countries. Y'all not gonna say shit about nobody over here. You understand? Ain't nobody who wiped their ass with shea butter leaves gonna say anything about Chicago.
And that makes it even worse. This is another thing why I say Tariq is so stupid. That makes it even worse. If people came from that type of poverty and came to America and surpassed black people who are already here with a head start over them, that makes you look worse. That makes you look worse. That doesn't make you look better. That's like somebody who was born and raised in the projects outperforming somebody who was born in an upper middle class neighborhood with all the advantages and still being outperformed. Them pointing out that you came from poverty, your father was in jail, your mother's a crackhead, you grew up with your grandmother. Y'all ate, you drunk sugar water and you ate what? Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for dinner. Okay, yep, I did all of that and I still surpassed you. You can't compete with me on an even playing field, even though we was never even, because you had all that and I didn't have anything. Like what this is the problem. You saying stuff and you don't even understand. It make you look stupid. They make their story even the better. I came from wiping my ass with shea butter leaves to now I started my own business. That's what I came from. That makes them even greater. While you sitting around here thinking you run something and you don't run anything. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Or anything about baby mamas, none of that shit. Nothing. You ain't gonna say nothing. After all we've done, and I know the history, we've done.
Oh, got another troll in the building. He mad. He said the civil rights movement got us here. Who got the most civil rights victories? Who even started the civil rights movement? We talking about movement like Martin Luther King, the whole plan to go out to the South, stir up stuff to get the civil rights legislation passed. Who came up with that plan? Do you know? Do you know who got the most civil rights victories in the court system? Do you know who that is? I know you don't know. I know you don't know. What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Kind of clarify. You said Jews? Wrong. So you are anti-Semite. So you sitting up here bragging about the civil rights movement while attacking the civil rights movement. Can't make that up. Got to put you on timeout. Get you up out of here. Well, let's keep going.
Way too much for these other countries. We've been the only ones stomping for, like, especially African and Caribbean countries. We've been the ones stomping for them without trying to exploit them. So damn if people are going to come over here and be disrespectful. I just took on a stance. I got a zero tolerance for disrespect.
Oh, thank you. Shout out to you for being in the building. I never seen you before, but shout out to you.
From all these other groups. Zero. You understand? I took on a stance. Nobody is going to disrespect us at all and breathe like it's cool. You understand? Everybody can get it. You ain't going to disrespect.
Exactly. No smoke for European immigrants, even though most European immigrants that came here were refugees, were fleeing something, were coming from poverty. Because even though, they was coming from poverty. That's why the refugees, the Europeans that came here came from certain areas, and the areas that they came from was impoverished: Southern Italy, Sicily, Ireland, some other groups in Eastern Europe. We didn't really get immigrants from places that was like, thriving. And if they were thriving, it was the poor from the areas that we got looking for a better life. But he ain't got no smoke for them.
Us at all, under no circumstance, not even a little bit. If you fled over here, no, you ain't saying nothing. So now we done got some straightening. Now people got some damn act right now. Now people done got some act right. They still try to poke their heads out when little situations happen, like with the Karmelo thing. The tethers are still trying to get a little position under the white tea supremacists, but that's not.
So Karmelo's situation happened, and black immigrants, because when he says tethers, he's talking about black immigrants. That's a slur, just in specifically, but in general, that's just a slur for black people all around the world in the diaspora. How are they using Karmelo's situation to try to get position? That don't even make sense.
Not working. Oh, that's not working. So it's a brand new day. So yeah, they don't like being checked now. They're running around, oh, they're xenophobic. They're trying to be victims. Oh, these FBA niggas, xenophobic. I'm just a bitch-ass nigga. I don't do nothing. They attack me. They call me a teta. No. If you got smoke, you deserve whatever smoke you got. If somebody gave you smoke, you deserved it. You did something. You're not innocent. You done said something slick. Or you done something slick, and you're not used to being checked. It's a new day. That's what it is.
Oh, we done with this. We done with this. Tariq can't even hire real actors. He got to use AI. But anyway, shout out to everybody in the building. It's so late. Matter of fact, I think we could cover one more thing. Because again, I did talk about we was going to cover the Karmelo thing, and I hadn't watched it at all. So I think we can move on to this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me see. Shout out to everybody in the building. So I guess they have the footage from the Karmelo situation, and they got different angles. And I think this one has all the angles, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to watch this one and see what's going on. And we're going to watch the body cam footage too. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me see. I don't know if it has no sound to it or nothing. So let's see. Let's watch. Okay, I don't see anything, and I just saw Lady Clinton saying that the video don't show nothing. So again, I didn't look at this. I'm taking your word for it. You said it don't show nothing, but it got to show something. Oh, Oakwood, I think I got to put you on timeout. Look like you trolling. So is that Karmelo running? Let's bring this back a little bit. Is that Karmelo running? You can't actually see anything. So some people are saying that this proves that he's guilty. Some people saying it's proving that he's innocent, but you can't really see anything. And I'm pretty sure, why can't the school camera zoom in? Well, in a way, I'm happy. I'm not gonna say I'm happy. I'm happy it don't really show nothing, because I don't want to watch nobody die, nothing like that. But there should be a way that the courts could have had a better view of what happened. Okay, Hood Mistress, you said that was him running? Okay. Yeah, I did focus on the tent. I saw a little something, but it's like you really can't really see anything. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. I wouldn't know, because you got to think about it. People get stabbed and run off and die. That happens. People get shot and run off and die. People get stabbed and run off and die. This is all around tragedy. All around tragedy. Yeah. So yeah. So, yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. It's like they got him down. The police come. In Texas, maybe, but you know, in New York, that wouldn't have been. This wouldn't have been no self defense. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. That's a fact. And the funny part is, this whole stand your ground law that's going on that people is complaining about was made so situations like this could happen to black people. So black people could be killed, and people can just get off by saying they had to stand their ground. Nah, no, it wouldn't, because the Daniel Penny situation was different because they say he used his hands and stuff. If Daniel Penny had stabbed the brother, nah, no self defense. And you got to also remember this happened at a school. No way. Like I'm New York till it's over. You if this was in New York, this wouldn't even have been an issue. They like the court case, all this stuff, this wouldn't even have been an issue. If he would have took this to trial in New York, he would have got like 50 to life. Everybody would have been calling him stupid for taking it to trial, and he would have got like 50 to life for this, 75 to life, something like that, something crazy. I know, but Daniel Penny used his hands with him. That's what I'm trying to say. Like a knife, and the person didn't have a knife or whatever. Nope, you out of here. Like in New York, self-defense got to be proportionate. See, that's the thing that people keep saying about this situation. Like, it wasn't proportionate. He got even if Austin hit him, you don't meet a shove or a push with a knife stab. Well, in Texas, according to Stand Your Ground, you can do that. In Texas, you can do that. Remember, self-defense doesn't have to be proportionate when you're dealing with Stand Your Ground. I'm going by Texas law. It can't be stand your ground can't be legit sometimes and be illegitimate other times. According to stand your ground, you don't have to use proportional force to defend yourself. I'm talking about Texas law. Texas law says he was right to stab him. I'm from New York. We don't have no stand your ground in New York. We have real self-defense in New York, where you have a duty to retreat, where any force you use has to be proportionate, and the burden of proof is on you to prove that you needed to use that much force. This is Texas. Oh, I know that. I know that. Oh, you trolling? Get you up out of here. What you saying? Roland Martin uploaded this? Yeah, this is an all-around tragedy. All-around tragedy. Let me see something. See if we can find a different video on this. I think this is the body cam footage. Let's see.
Hold on.
I hope they don't show no blood, because let me just skim through this real quick. See if they show any blood or anything like that. No. Not just for YouTube purposes, but because I don't want to see nothing like that.
If somebody is treating the victim, they need to be over there.
Under a memorial tent.
Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me. Dispatch 443. I got the suspects, and they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. All right. Any weapons on you like that? I'll look here.
You're right about that. That's why you should not even pull the play like that.
Y'all back up a little bit. Come over here for me. Come over here. I'm gonna put your handcuffs for now, okay? Dispatch 443. Everybody can slow down. I got the alleged suspect in handcuffs right now, detained.
Everyone else can slow down. Suspects detained in handcuffs.
Hold on. You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. That's gonna be a gate that's wide open there, and then you come to the victim from there. This is the alleged suspect. All right. Okay. We'll figure that out. So nothing on your person at all? Nothing? Mind if I reach in your pockets and stuff and all that? Nothing gonna stab me? Okay.
I'm gonna be out with this.
I'm gonna be a little personal there, okay? Just to make sure. Okay. All right. The victim's going to be underneath that tent over there, so I'll get medics. Memorial tent over there, guys. All right.
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
What's happening right now? Victim is over here on the north end. They got staff standing to him right now. This is the alleged suspect. Already? No. We searched them. Got nothing on him. I don't know what happened.
413. Trackers everything about CPR progress for what witness. Briefing. You know the wrong thing. Briefing.
Sorry, over here. Up to you. It's up to you.
That's fine. This is closer.
Oh,
do one more little check.
Somebody trolling.
You know, behind for reaching your pockets, anything
I'm
like that.
wearing
some little under.
Well, yeah.
Like, no, ma'am, I don't think so.
What's your name, man?
Karmelo Anthony, Karmelo.
Okay. Have a seat here real quick, man. Watch your head. Let me check your hood here, buddy, okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, lean this way so you're not resting on your hands, okay? Yes, all right, see a little bit of blood on your hands there, okay? Yes, all right.
Oh man, I don't want to see no blood. Not according to Texas law, he didn't. He didn't murder anybody according to Texas law. No, it wouldn't. That's cap. That is cap. It would not have been the same thing. I could tell you that. But again, these stand your ground laws. This is why I'm always anti-stand your ground laws. And this is why I always tell people, stand your ground laws is not for you. Don't go, don't do it. Don't think you're gonna be able to claim self-defense. Like if somebody had did that to you, they will be able to claim self-defense. You can't. Let me see something. You said, oh, gotta put you on timeout. You said this was a money grab. Ain't got nothing to do with no money. Oh, gotta put you on timeout for that. I said this was a money grab. Can't have that.
So your first name is Karmelo? Let's see. Hold on one second. Is he gonna be okay? I don't know yet, man. Karmelo. C-A-R-A. K-A-R. K-A-R. M-E-L-O. M-E-L-O. Karmelo. What's your last name? A-N-T-H. O-N-Y. We ready? You win. I'm 10th grade.
You right, Mr. Black Eyes. You right. You are right. But again, according to Texas law, they don't have no proportionality. There's no proportionality in self-defense. Again, I'm totally against stand your ground laws. It's a total redefinition, not only because of the origin is racist, but it's a total redefinition of self-defense. So not only is the origin racist, not only is how it's being applied racist, but even if you take away all that, it redefines self-defense. Self-defense does not need to be redefined. Self-defense does not need to be redefined. We all know what self-defense is. Oh, shout out to East Coast Kev in the building. I was waiting for you, bro, so I could do that video that you said you wanted me to do. But I don't know if I could do all of them because have an issue with, like, if you do certain videos, copyright, and then they take the whole stream down sometime in the middle of the stream. All right, so I'm gonna go check that email. Shout out to you again. Thank you for the $5. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week.
You go to Emerson? No, sir. Where do you go? Centennial. Okay.
I'm in 12th grade.
12th grade?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, Centennial. All right, sit tight for me real quick, bud, all right? Let me run this guy real quick. I haven't talked to him at all.
Okay. Okay. Let me see something. Cause I just saw. So that's about it. I don't see none of this footage that's been released actually would change anybody's view of what happened. If you believe Karmelo Anthony was a murderer and deserved to be in jail, nothing that this released footage was going to change that. If you believe Karmelo Anthony defended himself, nothing you've seen in this released footage is going to change that. I don't know why people was making it seem like this footage being released was the end all be all. Yes, it does. When you take away proportionality in self-defense, that does mean I could kill you for touching me. There are plenty of cases where people have shot and killed people for touching them, and they said they had to defend themselves. There are cases in Texas where people shot people who didn't even touch them, saying I fear for my life, I had to defend myself, I had to stand my ground. Plenty of cases like that. Plenty of cases like that. Plenty of cases like that. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to end this stream here because, it is like, 4 a.m? Dag, crazy. But we can end this now. So I want to give a big shout out to everybody who tuned in. I know I had to do this late because, again, Father's Day weekend, Juneteenth weekend, and I got my kids with me. They over visiting, so I had to do this super late. But thanks, everybody, for tuning in and supporting me. Remember, you can also support the PayPal, the Cash App, the Super Thanks, all that. I got Venmo now. I take it all. A whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. But yeah, let's give all our shout outs. Shout out to Lee Clinton for coming through with the 10. Shout out to That's Amazing for coming through with the 5. Shout out to That's Amazing for coming through with another 5. Shout out to President Jafar for coming through with a 2. Shout out to That's Amazing for coming through with another 5. Shout out to President Jafar for coming through with a 5. Shout out to RBG for the win for coming through with a $4.99 super sticker. Shout out to Con Guru for coming through with a $4.99 super chat. Shout out to That's Amazing for coming through with a $5 super chat. Shout out to Con Guru for coming through again with another $4.99 super chat. Shout out to East Coast Cat for coming through with a $5 super chat. Much appreciated. Whole lot of ones with a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Family, go subscribe to my second channel. Please do that. Good night, good morning, good evening, good all that stuff, wherever you at. Much appreciated for everybody coming through tonight, for all the support. If you commented tonight, thank you for that support. If you liked the video, thank you for that support. If you dropped the fire emoji, thank you for that support. If you hit that reaction heart, thanks you for that support. If you shared the stream, if you're going to give it hype points, if you're going to comment after I end the stream, thank you for all that support. Much appreciated. Thank you. I couldn't be doing this without you. Thank you. And I'm going to end this stream here. Good night, good morning, good evening, good all that stuff. And on that note, family, peace.